team, along with Sam Watson and his team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, traveled through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path, and life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely sometimes. You see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, it's all in what you do, some things you gotta do, This fight for millions, take a second, see the blessing in it. With much expected, much is given. One that made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness, yes. You can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let us see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it through like, oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the rope. She fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give something away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Can't take it
personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, it's all what you do, things you gotta do, hey, welcome to the show. What's up, DB? Love is the word. Oh, man, you know, we had to switch it up, man. I had to build you up, let you down, then build you up again. Love is the word. What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe? What's up, DB, Box fans? What it do? What's up, JQ, K-Dub? Man, I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight. What up, Damala? What Drew? What's up, Reginald? Where we at? What's up, AHK Brown? Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you coming in here tonight. And so here's what happened. So the reason why I was going to start the show early, because India is coming in. She'll be in when she's ready. And so I got a call today. My cousin is good friends with Jamar. And my cousin called me like, man, you got to get him on the show. You know, and so what happened was he had did an interview with Good Morning America. And Good Morning America has the what's the term, like they do the interview first, so I guess they signed off, so we got to do the interview tomorrow, something like that. So we'll double back tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. So I know people was coming in here, so when they ask in the chat, just let them know. So he'll be back tomorrow, and when India comes in, we'll talk about her book Redeemed, and so that's where we're at, man. How's everybody doing tonight, man? How's everybody doing? I was excited to hear his story too, because I saw Reggie post it. I saw a Black Fight fan post it. I saw a few people post it, so I knew it was important to our community. So I was like, man, it'll be dope to have him on. So he'll be on Good Morning America in the morning. So when you guys when you guys wake up on the East Coast, you'll have it in a couple hours, 6 hours, right? 6-7 hours. So look out for that. And so that's where we're at with that. What's going on in boxing today? I have no idea. What's going on? Anything new happening in boxing? I ain't into boxing. I ain't look at I ain't seen nothing today. Y'all got to fill me in. You know what I mean? Did Crawford accept 70-30, 60-40? Did Earl Spence drop it to 60-40? I don't know. I don't know where we at with that. You know what I mean? Canelo fans still going wild. You know what I mean? The double standard of boxing is alive and well. You know, I got a real question though. I got a question. Should we really, and I'm with it. Y'all already know who I am. These the black fighters, man. Should we hold them accountable for letting all these guys get passes, man? Like they just be so kind and so nice. And then they get, but you know what the reverse side of that is? We get blamed for it. You know what I mean? Like all the content creators, we get blamed for saying, "Oh man, oh you're not supposed to be disrespectful." When it's convenient for the black fighters, they always say, "Oh man, you got to keep it cool on the brother." But then they be like, but then they got like then they give Canelo passes though. Canelo is a weight pimp, a PED user, and he's the best fighter in the world. I don't know how he's the best fighter in the world, dog. I don't even know how you can even. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this stand is going by the wayside. I'm gonna have to get another one. But I just don't understand, man. The first words coming out of my mouth is Canelo is a drug cheat. Not one media personnel spoke up about him being a drug cheat. Not one. I ain't hear not one question asked about his failed drug test. Matter of fact, I've never seen him answer it. Everybody's friends and fans. Everyone wants to be cool. Everyone wants to be accepted. So at the end of the day, who's the hoe? Who's the hoe in all this? They see. Here's the catch. For most intense purposes, they attempt to ostracize me. Right? They attempt to. Oh man, he gonna go away, man. Let's just stop giving them credentials, and everyone wants to be friends and buddy with the fighters as opposed to telling them the truth. Now, I respect the fact that you have that you have friends, you become friends with them, because that's what happens over time, right? Like you spend time with them on the weekends, and so you develop a relationship with them. I understand that, and I understand that you favor other fighters, managers, promoters. It just happens. Like, you know, when you go to work, you go to lunch with your favorite coworker, right? When you on a sports team, you hang out with your favorite teammate. It just happens like that. You know, you sit at the same. If you guys went in college, you sit at the same lunch table when you were in college. No matter, it just happens. It just happens to be that way. You know, so I think that the accountability is not there per se. You know, it's really not there. And he went through a whole fight week and never was asked about rehydration clause and PED uses, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. Wagwan, Fred. Wagwan. How you say that shit? I don't know how you say that. Oh man, it's just I try and grasp it and understand it, and it makes no sense to me. You know, I try and make sense of it, but y'all guess is as good as mine. You know what I mean? Definitely as good as mine. I don't know. Who who can hold who's fair? What is fair, right? That's such a subjective term, you know what I mean? But boxing is gonna go as as we allow it. I think this quarantine should have inspired boxing fans to understand their value, right? Because Bob Arum has come on and said it. PBC scheduling has proved it to you with all the pay-per-views. This was a record year in pay-per-views for PBC. Probably what they do, 4 pay-per-views. They did 3 pay-per-views in September, October, November, December. They did 3 pay-per-views in 4 months, which is odd, you know, like in terms of like rationing it out so you can get as much as you can, because people usually can't do 2 pay-per-views in like 45 days, 30 days or so. But I think boxing fans should have woken up and been like, you know what? My dollar has power. My dollar has value. And we got to look Leonard Ellaby in the face and be like, nah, it's not going down like that. You got to earn my dollar. You got to look Eddie Hearn in the face. Nah, you got to earn my dollar. You got to look Bob Arum in the face and say, you got to earn my dollar, you know? And I think that's important. I think that's what boxing fans truly, truly, truly need to grasp and understand, you know? So I like that, DV. That's funny. And I think like that's where we should be, you know, like we're so undervalued, man. We're so undervalued, man. And I just really, really want us to see our value. They can't do, Bob Arum said, we can't do big pay-per-views because we need a gate. Yeah, that 10 or 15 million dollars, that $5 million, that $20 million gate, they need the gate, right? To offset the overhead that they have. But we just take it, man. Man, boxing fans just get railroaded and shit. You know what I mean? We just get railroaded. And it's gonna have to be a fighter that says, you know what? Integrity is more important than money. It's, you know, it's hard. It's hard to be Muhammad Ali. It's hard to be Muhammad Ali, dog. It's hard. It's the toughest thing in the world to be Muhammad Ali when you're looking at millions. I'm not going to the war. Nah, I'm cool. I'll sit out 4 years. It don't matter. Everybody claim they Muhammad Ali. Everybody claim they the greatest. Floyd uses the moniker TBE. People use the best, the GOAT, and all that. But when it's time to really, really, really have a Muhammad Ali moment, they don't do it. You know what I mean? They don't do it at all. You know, and that's why we in a position that the phone lines. I'm sitting there talking, forgetting to open up the phone lines. When India come in, we'll just she might be having problems beaming in or something, or she lost track of time or something. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, feel free to call in. Phone lines are open. And where are we at with it? Phone lines are open. And there we go. Yep. If you guys want to beam in, you guys more than welcome to beam in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're solid with that. So I got to change the title of the show. Yeah, but fans, we just get used, man. Damn, we get used. But that's life. You know, I was thinking today, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, boxing ain't getting my money, dog. I'm gonna cut back on going to these fights because what's the point? We don't get what we want. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? We don't get what we want, man. You know, at least fight the best. At least fight the best. It's only one fighter. It's only one fighter that we can say that's absolutely fighting the best. That absolutely went in search of the best. There's only one fighter in boxing that's done it. There's only one. And his name is Deontay Wilder. There's only one. No matter what you say or how you say it, there's only one fighter in boxing today that is in search. That is in search of the best fighter in the world. It's only one. Hey, I love you. I'm doing the show, Ma. Hey, see me all day. Give me a second. Say hey. Oh man, but yeah, Earl, he's fighting the best available. I'll give him credit for that, the best available. When you like in search of the best fight, like Deontay Wilder literally went to the UK. Literally went to the UK, and Tyson Fury went out to came out to Sweet Home, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Literally came out to Sweet Home, Alabama. You know, so there's a difference. Earl Spence is fighting the best available. Which is, take your shoes off, buddy. Which is the there's a difference between. No, Earl gets great credit for that. I'm not this. You can buy you the camera. So, oh, thank you. So, but thank you. Yeah. Why don't y'all call in? Can y'all call in? Earl put. You guys are misconstruing what I'm saying. You guys are getting offended because you're so emotional about your favorite fighter. Listen, Earl Spence is probably my second favorite fighter, right? But I'm still going to speak from a fan's perspective, okay? Deontay Wilder shouldn't have given Tyson Fury a 50-50 split, okay? Shouldn't have. But he did to make the fight. You can't see. You know what I mean? Gosh, dog it. Give me a second, guys. So anyways, so the point I'm making is there's a difference between fighting the best available opponent.
You just started your show, didn't you?
Yes. The best available opponent versus in search of the best opponent. You guys understand what I'm saying? You guys got to see, because the best opponent in the welterweight division is Terrence Crawford, right? And I can understand that Terrence Crawford is playing games. I get it. I understand what you guys are saying, right? It's a family affair, right? And so what I'm saying is it's only Deontay Wilder is the only one saying, you know what? I'm going after Tyson Fury. And a matter of fact, Anthony Joshua, I'm going to put $50 million in this bag. I'm going to put $50 million in this bag. You know what I mean? And you got to get down, Lincoln. You got to lean down. Here, scoot over, Kennedy. Hey, you get this leg, and Kennedy get that leg. All right. Oh man. All right. So, all right. All right. All right. So I need the microphone. All right, I'll do it like this. So we're gonna hang out for a minute, okay? So did you see Saturn and Jupiter tonight? Pretty cool, huh? Did you see the Christmas trees, the Christmas lights? All right, good. All right. So yeah, completely hijacked. So here, give me a kiss and go upstairs. Or go get your iPad. You can get your iPad and sit over there. Go get your iPad and sit over there. Go get your iPad, Kiki. Go ahead.
Daddy, is it 9:10?
9:18. So I appreciate it. So you go with the camera. So what I'm saying is you got to understand exactly what I'm saying. You guys are so. Can we just have a pragmatic conversation? Can we just have a pragmatic conversation where we're just speaking without emotions, without anything, just from what we can observe, okay? Just from what we can observe, okay? So Deontay Wilder said, you know what? Anthony Joshua don't want this $50 million. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua don't want this $50 million is in the bag. You know what I mean? This $50 million is in the bag. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going for who's the next best available opponent that I can possibly fight. Now, obviously, he wants to be on pay-per-view. You know, I mean, that's fair, but shit, so does every other fighter want to be on pay-per-view. Look at the guy who fought Saturday. He's not in search of the best. And this is where I'm going with it, okay? You guys are so sensitive and fickle. All right. Now, I know Errol Spence is negotiating publicly. He's negotiating publicly and he's playing his hand and I get that. I 100% get that. But when you see Deontay Wilder literally get on a private plane or fly first class, 6'7", 6'8", you know what I mean, get on a plane with his team and fly to the UK to go, and that was 2 Augusts ago, remember? He fought and Tyson Fury kissed that man. Y'all remember that fight? Was that the same fight? I don't know, but I forget the guy's name. And he did whatever he had to do to him. And then they fought in December, the first week in December. There's a difference. And that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. All right. I think Earl should pursue the fight from an honest. Ask Lincoln. Okay. Okay, when I get done. So what I'm saying is, by no means am I saying be as benevolent as Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder was extremely benevolent. Safari. I'm saying Earl should be like, hey, the fight is 60-40. I'm being fair, dog. I think Earl is being fair when he says 60-40. Pursue the fight. Hey, I'm going after Terrence Crawford. I want this fight. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's fair. I really think that that's fair. You know, I like the fact that they're going back and forth, right? Because now they have a greater grasp of their significance to the sport of boxing. But don't abuse it now. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse it, because I don't care what no fans say. Oh yeah, I love Spence. Oh yeah, I love what's the other guy name? Crawford. If we don't get the fight, that energy has to go somewhere. And it's not going to go into another fight because you're going to be disappointed. It's not going to go into a Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman fight. You know, it may turn into anger. You may shut boxing off a little bit. You may not want to come back for a year, 6 months, you know, so it's going to go somewhere, you know. If it's 70-30, hey, if that's honestly, I would say it's somewhere over 60. I'm with Earl. Listen to me. I'm with Earl when I see it from 50,000 feet. 60-40, 70-30. That seems fair to me. I'm with it. I agree with him. I'm not saying it's wrong. But if everybody knows Manny Pacquiao is looking for a loophole in the game, Manny Pacquiao is non-committal. You know, he's so non-committal, and he's holding up the sport of boxing because he has that belt. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I wish Manny Pacquiao didn't have a belt. But then again, I'm glad Keith Thurman don't have it, because that fight with Earl Spence would have never happened. I'm for real. It wouldn't have happened. I agree. I believe it wouldn't have happened. So I think that, in all honesty, Earl needs to pursue that Terrence Crawford fight. It's already public now. It's already public. You know what I mean? It's so public that everyone is talking about it. You know, so pursue the fight 60-40, 70-30, but pursue it. You know, and let your resume speak for itself. Because if he unifies, well, he's already unified. If he gets another belt, that gives him more credibility. You know, and then he goes up to 154 and fights for a belt at one. Because when he goes from 147 to 154, he's immediately fighting for a belt. You understand what I'm saying? He's not just going up to 154 just to be a good 154 fighter. You know what I mean? I think that he's just going up to fight. Hey, what's up?
My nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. It's a real nigga celebration.
Hey, what's up? First time calling in?
Yes, it is.
All right, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
I'm about to make this show. What do you mean, welcome to the show?
Okay, you at the what?
I'm about to make the show.
Okay, make it.
Okay, so my friend told me to call in.
Okay.
And boxing is dead.
Boxing is dead?
Yep.
It's not dead because we just had a fight. It's dying. I would say that fans are being occupied with other things in life, COVID. And
No, it's been dying for years now.
Okay.
So now I'm telling you that it's dead.
I don't think it's dead. I'll be honest. I don't think it's dead.
Okay. So,
but I'm gonna give you the mic though. I'm gonna give you the mic. Go ahead.
Oh shit! Tell me when to get the mic. Do I have the mic right now?
Everybody's listening.
Oh my god. Okay, boxing's dead. The biggest fight in the last 6 months, 7 months was Tyson. Come on. Floyd's last 2 fights, he pulled out De La Hoya from retirement, and that was his biggest fight in the last 2, 3, 4 years from that fight. Boxing's dead. You might as well turn on to UFC. Like, now we have Nate Robinson fighting Joe, whatever his idiot name is. Like, no, it's dead. What do you want to see? Boom, that's my 2 cents.
Appreciate the call. What you drinking tonight?
Grey Goose.
Grey Goose and what?
Straight boy.
Oh, straight boy. Okay. Appreciate the call.
All right, so do I get to hear this? Let's go. Do you have no rebuttal to what I said?
No, I don't. Like it was. You're right. Mike Tyson was the biggest fight in this year. 1 point something million pay-per-view buys.
Which is a joke because he won that fight. Do you agree?
I personally didn't care. Didn't care who won the fight. I don't know. I didn't score it.
Did you even watch it?
I watched it. I didn't score it though.
A lot of hugging. I don't know. Whatever. It was a joke, and that's what boxing has become. A joke.
It's dying though. It's dying like this phone call. It's dying. It's out of oxygen. It's running out of oxygen. It's over like this phone call.
No. Okay, go ahead. Go on with your show.
Peace. Hey, I would say boxing ain't dead. Now let's get it clear, man. We got a whole bunch of great fighters in this game, right? We got some personalities. We got I mean, I just mentioned too, Deontay Wilder, Earl Spence. You know, I stopped what I'm doing to watch those two fighters fight. You know, like I don't but we got Ayo player. Yeah, you're right. I thought the same thing. I didn't respond to the boy comment because I'm, you know, my life is too good to be arguing with a guy I'll never meet. You know, um, 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 uh, I think Wilder Fury adds something to the sport. The storylines are there. Tyson Fury is a monster. Deontay Wilder lost twice. The glove gate. Oh, Deontay Wilder fired his trainer. Tyson Fury is now the All-American heavyweight. Oh, he is the fighter of the year. Oh, man, we can go so many places with this. You know what I mean? The storylines are there, and people are going to be intrigued by it.
Block for me, black man. No, they trying to stretch us.
Hey, what's up?
Yo, what it do, Fred? What it do, man?
Hey, what's up? What you got?
Yeah, man. Hey, that last caller, yeah, he definitely off that Grey Goose.
Yeah,
he don't
for
know
sure.
what the fuck he's talking about.
For sure, he is.
I mean, boxing's not dead. It's just that they just don't give us what we want. That's really it. And they just make us pay for bullshit fights. Boxing's not dead. Now, I mean, MMA is taking over because they're giving us the fights we want. Some fights marinate, but they marinate in our minds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you mix and match some matchups and different matchups, but I wouldn't say boxing is dead. That's just my opinion. How do you feel about that?
No, boxing's not dead. The boxing is leaving a lot on the table. You know, boxing is like it's not a complete meal. Like it's like Kirkland supplies at Costco. You know, it gets us by.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting us by. Like, I don't agree with paying every month for a pay-per-view. Imagine if you paid for every pay-per-view. Charlo, Tank, Earl, and Canelo. Like you that's 75. That's $300 that you've paid. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Especially every month. Yeah, that's
every month on top of your 150.
Right.
On top of your 150. If I am a fighter for real, in the depths of my heart, I would fight for free and I would advertise it as, man, it's COVID. I need to give back. I understand what we're going through. This fight could have been on pay-per-view. I understand. I'm going to make a financial sacrifice like you guys are making. I understand. I know I live a different life. I understand it. I get it. However, because of the climate of America that we're in, I'm going to make the sacrifice and not have people pay for this fight. I think people should be able to watch this for free. You know, I think that's important, especially if no fight is worthy of pay-per-view besides Wilder versus one of the top two heavyweights outside of him, and Crawford and Spence. Those are the only two pay-per-view fights we got in boxing. Tell me another fight that's worth pay-per-view.
I'd say Canelo versus Charlo.
I don't think that's pay-per-view though. I mean, it's gonna be pay-per-view, but I don't think it's pay-per-view worthy. I don't.
Let me ask you, why don't you think that's pay-per-view worthy? I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that's
because I don't know how you're gonna sell the fight. I don't know how you're gonna sell it. It's gonna be on pay-per-view because people gonna say, oh, it's cinnamon, so it's gonna be pay-per-view. I don't think that fight should be pay-per-view. It's a good fight. It's not a pay-per-view. To me, in my humble opinion, it's not a pay-per-view fight. I think it's a high-grade fight, just like I don't think Plant and Benavidez is a fight. And I think that's a better fight. Plant Benavidez is a better fight because they're gonna throw punches. Canelo's gonna counter Charlo. He's not gonna lead. He gonna feint and or counter him. So
I mean, he can walk. He can walk. I mean, he can walk him down. But he definitely should counter Charlo. But I personally think that and I'm just gonna speak for me.
mm-hmm.
I think that Canelo versus Charlo could be the Pernell Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. of this generation.
Who'd you say?
I think Jamal Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez could be the Pernell Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. of this generation.
Oh, okay. I don't think so. I don't think neither of them have that skill set. I don't think neither of them. I don't think that they're good enough. I don't think nobody's good enough in this era to be a Pernell Whitaker. Nobody in this era.
No. I'm not saying I'm not saying like they're. I'm not saying they're like similar. I'm just saying like as far as me, I can see it like that. That's just my opinion though.
Don't you know Chavez Mildred Taylor was on HBO for free?
Yeah, see, I wasn't alive during that, so I don't know.
No, I'm just, you've seen the fight though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That fight was free. Free.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, free meaning you had to have HBO.
Right, HBO, right.
Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas was free. We got Mike Tyson for free sometimes, y'all. He wasn't on pay-per-view all the time. You know, like, come on now. Like, oh man.
So you don't think that fight can't sell out? Like, so why don't you? I mean, okay. Why wouldn't you think that fight's not a pay-per-view fight?
Who? Charlo? No,
Canelo.
It's going to be a pay-per-view fight, but I don't think it's a pay-per-view fight. I think it's the highest grade of free TV. I think it's the highest grade. I think it's the highest grade. I think it's in this era the highest you can get in terms of free. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, to a degree, I could agree with that.
It's not gonna be a race. That fight ain't gonna be a race. It's gonna be very tactical. No one's gonna be aggressive in that fight. That you're gonna have moments of aggression. Don't get me wrong, but Jamal Charlo is a highly intelligent, highly skilled fighter. He's gonna stay behind his jab and find loopholes in Canelo. Canelo is not a lead because of what he did with Triple G. So he is gonna counter and feint off of Charlo. You understand? Heard J-Rock was free. Shit, that was for a unified belt at 154. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? So I think that J-Rock Banana was free, but we didn't know. We didn't know what was coming that time, but it still was free. So that's where I'm at, man. I think someone got to take the initiative. You know, I think Crawford Spence is a phenomenal fight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, of course. Like, of course, we know that's pay-per-view fight. We all know that's pay-per-view fight.
But the styles though, like it's like, you know, Earl is coming forward, and you know Crawford is gonna try and dog and figure his way out in that fight. You know it's gonna happen. You know you're gonna get combustion. Like, it's not like where it's like, man, is it gonna be a good fight? You know it's gonna be a good fight. 100% it's gonna be. If Earl fights Sean Porter will never touch his body besides a clinch. Earl was not gonna let him get in, and all the fans just gonna be disappointed because Earl's like, nah, I'm gonna keep you back there. Every time you come close, I'm gonna shoot you with this bug spray. Nah, get back. Jab, jab, jab. You know. And Earl is that good where he can do it. And you saw his footwork. His footwork is great. And he's going to be with Blu-ray. So he's going to be he got tired in the 8th or 9th round somewhere in there, but he won't be tired in his next fight.
Yeah, he's going to be on a whole nother level.
Yeah. He's going to be on a whole nother level. So that's where I'm at with it, you know? So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just going to go back to the Canelo Charlo fight. I disagree. I think that fight could sell out like the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. I think you could put that in Houston. I think you.
It's going to sell out. No, it's going to sell out. It's going to sell out. It's going to do 400,000 or 500,000 pay-per-view buys. I think that's that's the 1 million mark in this era, and especially with the climate of America. I'm just saying the quality of the fight. The quality of the fight.
I think that's going to be a physical chess match, in my opinion. It's going to be there's going to be some physicality in that chess match. Don't say. I mean,
Close the door.
Canelo can.
Thank you. Say it again, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, I said that. I think that it could be a physical chess match. I think that Jamar Charlo, he definitely has the skills, but Canelo has the skills too. And when he needs to bang, they both can bang. You know what I'm saying? They both have great inside games. So I think that in spots we will see like a really good like we'll see them both go at each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that it's gonna be like more of a strategic approach from both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be strategic, and Jamal don't get enough credit. He's a smart fighter. You know, he stays behind the jab when he wants to, and or when he needs to. I just think like Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz was not a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, that was a Showtime fight.
It was a Showtime fight. It should have been on Showtime. It should have been on Fox. It should have been on Fox, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that boxing is weird now. Like Jamel Charlo Rosario shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. I thought Jamel Charlo should have begged for it to be on Fox. Like, Al, can you please put this fight on Fox for me? I'm gonna beat his ass and I'm gonna walk out with all these belts, and everybody that don't really know boxing gonna think I'm the best fighter in the world.
Right, it's on free TV.
It's on free TV, and you got all the belts. And imagine a 9-year-old kid seeing Jamel Charlo knock out that guy.
Yeah, you
see what I'm saying? Like, damn, and he got all them belts. Damn, you know?
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is my last question. I'm
gonna
get off. So like, okay, so what's
we
more
slow motion tonight? Go ahead, take your time.
Okay, so what's more meaningful? So more pay-per-view. So let's say you get like 1 million pay-per-view buys versus 10 million views. Like,
I want 10 million views. I want 10 million views. Fuck that. Yeah, I want 10 million views. Oh my God, yeah. I can flip that.
So like, how would the I'm saying, like, how would the networks like make money off of like the network make money off of people like watching the fights?
I don't care about the network. I don't give a fuck about the network. It's about my brand. I want 10 million people watching me. I don't care about the network. If I'm a fighter, I don't care about the network. They're lying to you anyway about how much they spending, how much they taking. They lying. They ain't telling you the truth. Why should you care about them?
Yeah. Well, that's my call for. I'm back in the chat.
Man, I appreciate you calling, man. You know, we got to convince Bud and Earl to make this fight, man. That's all we should be asking for. And then once the fight is signed, then we can have some fun with the fight. Then we can lighten up. You know what I mean? Stay ready. We can lighten up and just have fun. And I can once the fight is signed, I can be an Earl Spence fan again. You know what I mean? I can be, again, not that I was lost, but I'm saying like now I can just relax. Boxing got me so like, man, so like you don't know what's happening. Like, you have no idea, you know? We got to get that fight signed, dog. We got to get that fight signed. That's the goal. Get that fight signed. People in Dallas. Earl is he's a humble man. I saw his story today. He was walking into a restaurant with his family. You understand what I'm saying? Earl is everywhere in Dallas now, or excuse me, Texas. You know, he seems very approachable. He seems like he goes to Walmart, Target, supports his black businesses. You know what I mean? He seems like the guy that does his miles with the you know what I mean, with the stroller and shit. You know, he seems like that kind of guy. Truth be told, Bud Crawford seems like that type of guy too. For real, he seems like he's proud of being from Omaha. He seems like he's proud of being the guy in Omaha that everyone recognizes and showing up to his son's wrestling tournaments and his daughter cheered. I'm not being sexist. His son is a wrestler because it seems like I'm being sexist right now, but like I think Bud is like that as well. I'm not going to sit here and say because if you follow Bud on Instagram, he's either competing, playing video games, or spending time with his family. You understand what I'm saying? And the guest is here. So we're gonna switch gears and come right back. We're gonna double right back, man. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Thank you for coming in, India. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I was like, man, where's she at?
You said 12, right?
No.
Yeah.
You're 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Oh, my bus.
Well, it was 9 p your time.
So that
makes it's about to be 12 here.
So you're 3 hours.
3, actually, yeah, 3.
Okay, yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You a boxing fan, yeah?
I, watch here and there.
Okay. How did you? So you knew Duke, right?
Yes.
From growing up in the city?
Just from knowing him in the city. Well, I didn't know him personally, but you just know people.
Oh man. Mm-hmm. And can you see the chat, by the way?
No.
On your screen, it says live chat. Do you see it?
It's just a private chat.
And what's above that?
It's asking me or sign up for free. And then on the side is comments.
Comments, yeah. Yeah, go to comments.
Oh, okay. You said live chat. Oh, I see now. Okay.
And now you see them, you see it?
They saying I'm late.
No, that's my fault. I'm taking the blame for that.
Okay, because I'm like, I just did the hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Duke was a hell of a fighter, man, huh?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a great story? Wasn't that a phenomenal story? Like him getting pardoned and getting to come home.
Yes, it was just like when he went to jail, I heard about it. The newspapers ran it to the ground and it made me sad. But to see him, I'm like, man, God is doing some amazing things in 2020 during a pandemic.
Right.
Yep.
And you mentioned God. We was gonna get there, but you have a strong faith in God.
I do.
Why and how?
Well, it wasn't always this way. My grandma used to, try to get me to go to church and all this. And I'm like, I go, but I'm not listening. I mean, I don't understand what they're talking about. And so once, hey y'all, and then once I kind of got a feel for, God just came and spoke to me personally. Even my friends was trying to get me to go to church. And I was just like, no, I don't want to go. But it wasn't until my own experience to learn that God is real. And so that's how my faith came about. But nobody forced it on me. They tried, but it just didn't work. I wasn't trying to hear it. Yeah.
And you said God spoke to you because we have a pastor, usher, Deacon 305. He'll probably call in at some point. And he is very spiritually driven.
Okay.
And you said that God spoke to you. What does that voice sound like?
If you speak, you'll miss it. It's just very calm and quiet. And man, I wasn't really trying to hear anything. I was at that time, I was running around Gary, trying to be a bad girl. But somehow, I fell so hard that it was just like God just kind of spoke to me. It's just something that I can't really explain. Sure. Like for you to understand, you will just have to experience God speaking to you. But it's a quiet voice. It's not my own voice. I know it. No.
And could you see like the differences in lifestyles and mindset as it pertains to living with God versus living without God. Is that the correct term? I don't know what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. You know, what am I leaning to? What am I leaning on? Without God, like what is it? You know, when people pass away, you know, my faith keeps me strong, my faith in God. And, you know, just things that's going good. I'm like, oh, thank you, God. My prayers, you know, you hearing me, you with me. And yeah, so living without God, you know, my attitude was different, the way that I treated people, like I just didn't have a care. And you know, I don't know, it's just different for me. And then my spiritual walk is, I mean, to get right into it, even with my celibacy journey, you know, being celibate, God has helped me with that, you know? So, yeah.
How long has that been?
2 years and 5 months.
And how many days and how many hours? Now I'm just.
You know, I can break it down.
No, I'm teasing you. And what got you to this point? But before that, let's talk about your book. Redeemed. How did you? What inspired you to become an author?
So basically, I don't know if you got a chance to read my book, but
I haven't read it yet. I'm going to. I reviewed it and I saw your interviews.
Okay, so to give you some background about my book. Let's see. I was adopted at birth.
Wow.
And I didn't find out until I was 13. So that happened. And my biological mom was 14 when she had me. Wow. So with that, and then, you know, Gary, Indiana kind of had this crack epidemic, and my mom kind of got caught up in that, my adopted mom. So going through that with her, then finding out I was adopted, then I was a teen mom. And then going through my struggles, I got married at 21. So going through my struggles of the divorce and just the domestic violence, it was just like, wow, you know, somebody needs to know that God is real. He redeemed me. And I was able to get my master's degree in healthcare management. And, you know, I have some great boys, and, you know, it was nothing but God that did that for me. You know, I'm living in Texas and I'm enjoying it. So that's God. And a lot of people will fall and not even realize like that they can get back up. So this is what that's for, those people.
How did you find out you were adopted at 13?
So my mom came up to the school. My biological mom came up to the school. And my classmate walked past me. She like, India, your mom is here for you. And I'm looking like, where's she at? Because I'm looking for my adopted mom, because I had never knew about my biological mom. And when she was like, you India? I said, yeah. She was, you know, introduced who she was, because I don't use any names in my book. And she was like, I'm your mom. And I'm just like, how, you know? And she just kind of broke down the story of how she had me. And her mom made her give me up for adoption. Yeah. How
was the first conversation like?
With standing in the school?
Or just in general? Like I know you had to have a conversation, like who, what, where, when, why, and how. And so
it was a brief conversation because I was on my lunch hour. You know, I was in 7th grade. And it was a brief conversation. And when I got home, you know, I talked to my adopted mom about it, and she had already knew because my aunt worked at the school, and she called her and told her that India came to me asking, you know, who is this woman? So she kind of was prepared to talk to me. So when I got home, she told me that she just wanted to do it when she felt like I was ready. So, you know, I felt like embarrassed. I was ashamed because I had went through a lot with my adopted mom. And I'm like, you know, you're not even my mom, and I got to go through all this with you. But God has a way of doing things. And my adopted grandmother, which I don't call her that, she's no longer with me, but she had my back. I dedicated my book to her. She was my rock. So I guess that's why God wanted me to be paired with that family.
So how did that begin to coexist? Like now your biological mom with your adopted mom. How did the cohesion merge?
See, my mom, again, she had me when she was 14. So, she 20, something in her late 20s. So she's still running the streets. And I talk about my book, that, she was into the drug game. So she really didn't have a lot of time for me, but she time here and there, but they was kind of both jealous of each other. If I mentioned my biological mom, my adopted mom was jealous. If I, well, that's not your mama, blah, 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 blah. So it was a lot of me being in the middle of them. Yeah.
When did you have an aha moment, like as it pertains to relationships with both?
Well, I guess as an adult, nothing, because I really couldn't deal with it. I really acted out because of all of that was happening. So I really didn't deal with it then until I went to therapy.
Therapy is a buzzword now, especially in the Black community.
I'm telling people, I'm promoting it. Like it helped me. It really did.
Did you like as it pertains to your adopted mom, were you angry towards her for not conversing with you the realities of it sooner?
I never did like go off on her for not telling me, but I expressed it through my anger of acting out. It wasn't like a conversation. I was Yep.
Did you do a lot of sports and stuff?
No, I was pretty girl. I got to be with my friends. We got to go to the movies, got to hang on the boys. So I was like into that. Yeah.
How were your grades? Good student? Because you said you acted out.
Well, my grades was decent. Like I was in Gary school. So, basically they kind of pushed us through, but I learned what I needed to know. Yeah.
So college was immediate after high school.
And I was going to say I was a class clown too. Like
you'll be perfect for DB. So you know a lot of jokes.
I know you do the one joke, but I couldn't think of one.
Because DV gonna ask you about the jokes. You know what I'm saying?
It was like sometimes I was a mean person of talking about people. I had to see it. Your shoes, your clothes, being mean, being, young.
And you said your adopted grandmother, you don't call her that anymore, right? You said that?
Well, I never, I guess I never did identify her as my adopted grandmother. She just was my grandma. And she passed away.
And that's your adopted mother's mother, correct?
Yes.
And you said that she was a great pillar of strength for you.
Oh yeah, she she was my rock. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to be the woman that I am today. She always stayed on me. She tried real hard, but I got pregnant with my son. But she still took care of us, but it just was different. Because I knew she was disappointed in me.
Now you're 21, pregnant.
No, I got pregnant in high school.
Oh, how old were you when you got pregnant?
I was 16 when I got pregnant, and I had my son when I was 17.
17.
And so that's why she was disappointed, because I was pregnant in school.
Wow. What's life like pregnant at 16? My sister got pregnant around the same age, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you know what? It was people that was judging me.
That's great testimony.
Thank you. People was judging me, because the guy that I got pregnant by, his grandmother was like a public figure in our, so she made him stop talking to me. So I had to go through my pregnancy alone. I
said, what?
Yeah. Oh, she made him stop talking to me. Yep.
It's funny how women do that to other women, knowing the pressures and the pain and how important a man and or a woman, whether it's on the other side of the fence or protecting the male or the female, how important having both parents are.
Yeah,
You know?
she made him stop, and he stopped. You know, he was dating other girls and doing typical boy stuff. But I mean, he's a good person, so I don't got nothing bad to say about him now.
Mm-hmm. You like that, right?
Oh
right.
man, I used to give it to him when we was in school, but yeah.
And that hence the title Redeemed, right? Is that?
Redeemed. Yeah, because having a baby, and then when I got out of school, I know you was gonna mention college right after school.
Yeah, take your time. We go anywhere. We go in and out of it. I'm with
Okay.
you.
Yeah. I didn't have any plans after high school. I just was trying to work. I moved out when I was 18, so I got my own place. I graduated that June. The next March, I was in my own place. I didn't been on my own since.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you to go to college?
I had a friend that was going to school, and she like, you need to do something, and I was like, okay. And I used to just drop classes here and there. I would just drop them. I couldn't focus, and then she was just like, I need some chapstick too. I didn't realize she was gonna put me right on here, but I'm a. Right, it's over here, but I hate.
Go ahead. I'll go ahead. Go get your chapstick. I'm good.
It's right here. But my friend, she promoted school, and I'm just like, okay, let me do something. Get your life together for your son, because it wasn't about me. I wanted to kind of do more for him because we was living in the project. So, I was paying $4 for rent at one point, and $2 in another apartment. So I wanted more.
$4 in rent? Oh, because it's Section 8, right?
Well, it was like low housing.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And how old were you when you enrolled into college?
I think I was like 19, but I really was playing. And so it took me a few years after that to get my first associate's degree.
Oh, so you went to junior college first in Gary, Indiana, correct?
Well, it's like Maryville. It's like right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you transfer to?
School?
Yeah, college.
The school offered associates and bachelors. So I got 2 associate's degrees, and then I went on to the bachelor's degree program. And then I transferred to a different school for my master's. And I just enrolled back in school now, but this is my passion and purpose. I'm going for my master's in social work.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you obviously want to be are you currently a social worker?
No, I'm not a social worker now, but that's what in 2 years. So yeah, but I'm coaching people and just trying to help people to move forward.
When you look back, do you see the challenges, or did you see the challenges when you were going through them?
I saw the challenges, and I wanted to give up. Not give up like life, but just like, I don't want to do this no more. So I dropped classes. I dropped them all the time. One of my friends, she like, India, when you gonna finish something? Even my grandma, she like, when you gonna finish something, man? I had them too that was on me. And like, I wrote about that in my book, that, I just wanted to go out. I wanted to party. Let me go to the club. We used to go over to Chicago because Gary right by Chicago. So we used to go.
I know it now.
You didn't know that?
No, I'm in LA, so I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's like 30 minutes. So
it's LA and New York. All the other 48 states don't really exist to us. You know what I mean?
I get it.
I know. I'm messing with you, but go ahead, continue.
But yeah, so we used to go over there like almost every day. So yeah.
Damn. You a tough hombre, huh?
Man, I'm a warrior.
You're a warrior, right?
I am.
Warrior. And more books coming?
Yeah. Yep. And I'm gonna write about marriage when I get married, And then I need to just drop a quick ebook, to get these young ladies on board about, sleeping with these random men. Just chill out on it, because you need your discernment in order to think your next steps through, and you don't have it when you distracted by these men.
So you take me somewhere. By the way, she got a book entitled Redeemed on Amazon. Go get it. Go get it. We're notorious for supporting guests. Like,
thank you so much.
Oh, we're notorious for it.
And if they want some autographed copies, I still have a few left. It's IndiaCrawford.com.
IndiaCrawford.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And but social work is that like a passion project for you?
Yes. This is like retiring from health information management, because reach the 6-figure mark in that field. That was my goal. I just wanted to say that I made 6 figures, So it was just like, okay, now it's time for me to get in. It ain't about the money. It's more about how can I be a servant to this world? How can I push, what God wants me to do? Because I know he didn't redeem me just to sit on it and just to, I ain't gonna curse, but just mess on other people, like, show out. Nah, I want you to have it just like I do, if not better, Yeah.
And now you have 2 boys?
I have 4 boys.
4 boys?
Yeah.
All boys?
I have 4 boys.
How did that? You got all boys?
I have all boys.
Wow. How old are they? You don't mind me asking.
Oh, so they spread out, but I have, my 20-year-old that was from high school. And then I have a 16-year-old, 11, and my baby just turned 5 Sunday.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And you want a girl, obviously, right?
Well, I did, but
Oh, you done now.
You know what? If I get married, my husband want a child, it's something we got to pray about.
So prayer works, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta try it.
You said you gotta try it like it's like it's a burger joint. You gotta try it.
I'm just promoting prayer and relationship with God.
As you should. I'm open the phone lines too, because I know probably got some guys that want to try and be your next husband. And but feel free to call in at your leisure, guys.
I'm looking at Picasso comment. He something else.
The chat is unfiltered. So the chat is very unfiltered.
That's fine.
I love the chat is amazing because they stay engaged throughout the whole. They hear every syllable that you say.
Okay.
So, okay. Yeah. So speaking of which, what's your take on 2020? Speaking of prayer,
you talking about like the pandemic?
Just overall, 2020. How would you?
2020 was good to me, but I mean, I'm not living in a bubble and not seeing what's going on.
You're in Texas now, correct?
I'm in Texas now. Mm-hmm.
What city?
Well, the Dallas area.
You are? Oh, damn. Okay, that's dope. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So I would just say that my heart really goes out to the people that has, been impacted by, COVID and all of this. It's very unfortunate. Don't get the vaccine, but because it's not a real solution, in my opinion, and it's still in the trial stages. So don't be, in my opinion. But it's been something. But I went to a conference last year. I don't know if you're familiar with Tiffany Montgomery, but she's on Facebook and all that. But she has a platform of, it's called Millions Conference. And last year she talked about the theme of it was rich and recession. So we had forewarning that a recession was coming, because I don't know if you know it or not, but we're in a recession. Like some people are,
the country is definitely in a recession
because of the pandemic. I didn't know the pandemic was coming, but I had been telling people too, like, dude, get some, canned goods, get some water, stock up, because this is a recession. It's coming. That's what I was telling them last year. Yeah.
What's the solution? If besides prayer, what's the
Well, you know I'm gonna stay in prayer. But you know what? Just do like wear your mask and you know, all these parties and gatherings and stuff like that. You know, do it via Zoom for a little bit just to kind of get things calmed down. But I don't see things going, you know, I'm not a negative person, but just be prepared for 2021. Everybody's so rushed to leave 2020. Just be prepared for 2021. You saw that 2020 came out running. So just be prepared. Don't just think that it's a new year and everything will get better.
When can we anticipate better?
You just got to create your better, even with the mess, you know, that's happening. You got to create what's better for you and your household. So it's on an individual basis.
I like that answer. It's a time for entrepreneurship and creativity, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like because the country is kind of in a, if you see it from this perspective, outside of people getting sick, you know, it's a time to really, really go into what you want to become, because the earth, not the earth, but America's kind of like in a standstill. Like you're not really financially being punished per se for taking a risk, you know, although you might have lost your job. But I'm saying in terms of taking a risk, like it's probably 50 cents on the dollar, 70 cents on the dollar. You know, you can get things moving a little more swiftly too. And then people are home now too.
Yeah.
So it's less competitive in the free world, you know. People are home. Like I stay home all the time now, you know. So and you sitting there in Texas doing whatever you want, you know. Have you just moved freely? You just wear a mask and move freely?
Yeah, I don't move in fear. Yeah, I don't move in fear. Like I'm not gonna be scared. You know, the worst has already happened, and we're not gonna leave here alive. And I'm not gonna spend my days here living in fear. It's just pointless.
How about practical? Like in terms of like knowing that the virus is there. So moving intelligently.
Of course, you know, I have my hand sanitizer in my armrest. You know, when I go, I just put my hand sanitizer on, wear my mask, and I just go where I need to go. Now, I'm not just out here just going to parties and doing all that. No, I handle my business and I come home.
Did you have an opinion on the election and politics?
So I try to not like debate with people about it because it just wasn't a good choice this time around. I mean, I don't think it ever is, but again, you gotta create your individual life. Like you can't just get caught up in politics, the pandemic, nothing that the government has going on. You can't get caught up in it. You got to create what you want. Turn off the noise. Like I don't watch TV. So I mean, when I catch the news, I may see it in my news, you know, the timeline on Facebook or something. And I don't follow the pages because I don't want that in my mind. You know, it's negative. Yeah.
So you think Biden was a bad choice?
I just think that with everything moving the way that it is, I mean, I'm not like, oh, Trump, oh, Biden. I'm just team God and team India. Let's make it and redeem, helping people to overcome, heal, and move forward. Once you learn that, it's all that. It's not that important. I mean, I'm gonna be all right regardless.
It's funny because Jason Whitlock said that last week on the show. He said, God, you know, because someone asked him, can you be pro-black and Christian? And he said, believing in God answers both of them per se. And I didn't get a chance to ask him, is God black? You know, and that was my because it would have went down another 20-minute and we didn't have time because the show was ending.
Mhm.
But God answers all that, right?
Yeah. Let me. How can I say this? You know, I love my Black brothers and sisters. I really do, and I'm for them coming up because I do feel like we had a disadvantage, you know, versus some of the other races. They didn't go through the same thing, and even now, we still. It's like think of it as a race. We all about to get started with the race, and then it's just like, okay, y'all hold on for 5 seconds. Y'all hold on for 10 seconds. Let's let everybody else go forward. But we're going to hold y'all Black people back for like 10 seconds. And I'll finish the race. We're going to see how it end up. You know what I'm saying? That's still alive and well today. So I'm rooting for the underdogs.
I get that. We got a first call. 831. What's up?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Or good night. I just wanted to say that I wanted to congratulate her on her drive and her vision for her life to overcome all the things that she's had to overcome.
Thank you.
And one of the questions that I wanted to ask her is if what actually motivated her to become celibate. That's one question. And the next question is what makes her feel like she's ready for marriage with a strong man that is supposed to lead the family as he follows God. What makes her think she's ready for that, with the exception of the celibacy? That's all I have.
Okay. So when I was engaged, you know, I was fornicating. We didn't wait until we was married because, I mean, obviously didn't get married. And so one of the things because I moved into his house, we had a child together, like we was just acting like we was married and we wasn't. He did propose to me and I had a ring, but we hadn't gotten married. So we shouldn't have been doing all of that. But, you know, as I grow my walk with God, with Christ, you know, I'm learning. But so after that, I was just like, you know, I don't want to get pregnant. You know, and I'm just respecting the fact of, you know, my relationship with God. Like, it's a no-no, you know, fornication is a no-no. So I'll wait. And as far as knowing that I'm ready for marriage is because I did the work to heal and to, you know, just move forward. And when I say that, I just mean like my husband, of course, he's going to be the head of the household because I want order and structure. And, you know, I'm ready for that. And I'm open to that. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, you did. You know, I'm just going to add to that real quick. I think a lot of times what happens with our people is that we have a hard time having those healthy relationships because so many women have to take the lead in the families because the dynamics of mass incarceration. A lot of ways African American males are locked out of quote unquote the American dream. So most Black women grow up in single parent families where they're never seen healthy Black relationships between a married man and a married woman, husband and wife. So it's kind of hard to produce that when you've never seen it before. So that's why I'm asking, what do you think prepared you for that? Because I think a lot of successful Black women, they meet successful Black men, but they really don't know how to be a wife. And so that's where that question came from.
Okay. Just knowing my role in the household, I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to make money. I'm even preparing my boys, like when they do something, I'm like, look, you need to be able to clean up behind yourself because I'm gonna be married. And my husband not gonna come in here and talk about y'all, not cleaning up and doing what you're supposed to do. So I kind of, I'm molding my children into knowing how to, be in the household. And just for myself, I do things in a way that I'm preparing for marriage. Just cooking more, just doing certain things like keeping my phone line clear, because I'm gonna be a faithful wife. So just a lot of things. Yeah.
How do you portray music like Cardi B and stuff like that?
It's whether people want to believe it or not, it's an influence on people. It is. Back in the day, I used to listen to like Trina and Lil Jon, and they used to get me right for the club. So it's definitely influence. And whether they want to be role models or not, it's just young girls, young women gonna listen to it like the city girls, and they gonna try to mock them if they don't know who they are. If they weak-minded and think that getting Birkin bags and trying to get a man for his check or whatever, they gonna fall in line with that regardless of who their parents are. So it's just all about who the person is.
Who was the man? Because you mentioned grandma. As you were growing up, who was the man in your life?
So I had some uncles, because my grandma had like a lot of kids. She had like over 13 kids living at one point. And so my uncles, I have a adopted uncle and auntie, they still married. And they used to go over their house and used to do things with their kids. So that was definitely positive. And just seeing different things on TV, like I know Bill Cosby in jail, but I mean that was a good family to see when I was watching TV.
Where do the kids get the testosterone now, or the testosterone influence with 4 boys and a mom? Where do they get that from?
You know what? It's just like, because my ex-husband is not really there. So my ex-fiance, he'll, because he's in Indiana, but he'll kind of talk to him. Yeah. He'll kind of talk to him. He, will take him places when we was living in Indiana. And now since we've been here, he didn't came, to visit a times. And, he kind of took out time with him.
How's the Dallas living, by the way? How's it compared to Dallas from Indiana?
It's different, but I like it. Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose Dallas? I mean, were there any other options? Maybe Oklahoma?
You know what? I just always liked this area.
I like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to live like in LA, of course. Not because
why?
Just financially, like this big old house, I'm sure I would have to pay like $4,000 for this house. So it's just like the housing is cheap.
Yeah,
it's big to me.
No, the fact that you said the LA bar, I'm not saying that your house is small, or I'm just saying the fact that you like, damn, LA, because LA is expensive as hell.
Yeah, so it's just like they pay me a lot of money to live for the type of work that I do, but it's just like it wouldn't add up. It would be like I'm, working low, getting low wages compared to the cost of living, and wouldn't do New York, can't do Atlanta or Houston. Dallas just kind of fits me. People make quiet money to me, and they don't be flashy like some of the other areas. Not to knock the areas, but you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah,
because we have a fighter in Dallas who's real popular on this channel named Errol Spence.
I'm familiar with him. I have a story, but I'll tell you offline.
Okay, yeah, he's a hell of a fighter, and he does good. So when you mentioned Dallas and the barbershop, it's like Errol Spence country. You know what I mean? And
great fighter. I don't know him personally or anything.
Okay. And also had a friend of mine who played for the Mavericks. He was a guest on the show too. He played for the Mavericks for like a half a season.
Okay.
Someone in the chat saying Houston is better.
Houston is better, but it's busy.
It's busy.
And
412, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Fred? And hello to your guest.
India.
Thank you for your story. It's very powerful. I just wanted to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
You know, the Black church has been big with the Black community for a while. What are your thoughts on the mega churches with these pastors, the T.D. Jakes, the Creflo Dollars, Joe Osteens, you know, riding around in $1 million planes, and their congregation is you know, living below the poverty line? Do you have any thoughts on that?
They gonna, you know, have to talk with God about that, you know. I think they should, you know, should their communities. I really do. But I know, like, as far as, you know, the Potter's House, they do have programs here, you know, for people, you know, different things.
Okay, I just, you know, that always bothered me, where, you know, these pastors are riding around asking for $1 billion planes like that Creflo Dollar. I think that's a disservice, and never really understood it. And I think that turns a lot of people away from God. And I think that's wrong. Did she ever answer the question, is God black or white? I missed that part. I know you asked that. I know she asked it.
He's right here.
You know, it's different. You know, of course, they have the white, you know, Jesus. They have that image. You know, based off of the description, you know, one could believe that, you know, it was darker skin, the hair texture and stuff like that. So, you know, I won't even create a whole, you know, thing about it. But I mean, the world puts out what they want people to see, but the description leads to otherwise. So that's what I'll say about that.
Okay, yeah, because, you know, of course, according to the Bible, hair of wool, you know, skin color of bronze, you know, so that could be any color other than white. Almost any color of the world other than a white boy. But that's not the image that's pushed out there. And the last question I wanted to ask you, you know, I know you talk about the church, but as far as Black power, Black empowerment, where do you stand on that?
On Black empowerment?
Religious? Can you be religious and be a Pan-Africanist, or be Black first, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, again, I took my stance on it and said that, you know, I root for the underdogs. In this country, they treat Black people like the underdogs. They do. And so I just try to help my people. Now, do I have friends? Yeah, I do. Have they ever treated me, you know, made me feel like racist? They racist? No. But at the same time, they know my stance. You know, I talk about helping my Black brothers and sisters all the time. I don't say anything else about anybody else. Not to say that I haven't gave them very valuable advice, but that's not just something that I talk about on a daily basis. My presence for social media, empowering my people.
Okay. And the last question I want to ask you, you said you have, you know, four boys. You know, I had friends that their parents were real religious, and some of them weren't allowed to play sports. Do you allow your boys to play sports, or you against it, or what's your thoughts on that?
Well, they can play sports. We kind of moved during a difficult time with the pandemic, and but my son, he's interested in playing football, so you know, I'm gonna try to get him out there so that he can play. My oldest son, he played basketball, and my 16-year-old, he works a job, so that's not his thing.
Okay, great. Hey, your story is powerful. I think it can help a lot of people. Again, can you say the name of your book again? And is it available on Amazon or your website?
Yes, it's redeemed. And let me make sure I put it in the camera. And it's available on my website, indiacrawford.com, and it's also available on Amazon.
Okay. All right. Well, great. Much success. And keep speaking out. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right. God bless.
God bless you.
What keeps you forward thinking in terms of wanting a husband?
Because I know that I want a partner in life. Things that I do, it's like, oh, I wish my husband was here. He could have, did this for me or something like that. Not for the convenience, but just the love. Yeah. And I know God didn't put me here to be alone, so.
Yeah, no man. What is that? No man is an island. I don't know if I'm saying that out of context though. So what happens when we leave here?
So, I'm gonna continue to promote my book and.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Earth. I'm sorry.
Earth. Oh,
you gonna be in a casket like, buy my book.
Redeem, y'all better. But you know what? I don't. I just know that I'm gonna be God, and I try to live my life so that I can make it in. But I do think that heaven is real.
What does heaven look like?
You know what? That's an image that, people have their own, thoughts about it. I just envision a place of, it's not hard like it is here, peaceful. It's more about a feeling versus me actually having a visual of,
What's your take on how does your faith remain strong in a climate like how America is today, like poverty, cancer, men going to prison, being overcharged, it just goes on and on. How do you keep your faith in God?
You know what? I believe that the people that's doing the wrong, they will have to answer for what they doing. They will have to answer. They kids gonna have to answer. Somebody gonna have to see what they doing. And that's even for people like Black people, that do wrong. You reap what you sow. That's my take on it. But I don't agree with it. And so I can do to empower people to, change their lives around before they about to make a mistake. Sure. I try to talk to people, my cousin. I try to talk to them, don't do what you're doing. You can have whatever you want. You don't got to do what you're doing. So that's my part on it.
Who is your historical role model? Do you have one?
You know what? I just kind of Eric Thomas.
You like Eric Thomas? Yeah,
the number one motivational speaker in the world. I listen to him. And one of my friends just sent me one of his videos, but I listened to him, and I've met him a couple times, at the Millions Conference, and just a blessed guy with a story of, overcoming, healing, and moving forward. And so him, Les Brown, I was just used to listen to their videos, the YouTube on my way to work. I wouldn't even listen to music. I would just listen to them. And it just inspired me so much. Them two, definitely.
Yeah, Eric Thomas definitely inspired me when he said, you want success as bad as you want to breathe. That's when you'll be successful.
Yep.
And I actually had an opportunity to spend an evening with Les Brown.
Okay.
This was years ago. He spoke in downtown LA.
Okay.
And, he's inspiring, man. His stories are pretty dope, man. He's a great speaker, man. Oh
my God. Yes, his stories is just, he can tell you a story. Like you would feel like you're there is the way that he do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm gonna work on getting him on the show. I think that would be amazing.
Yes.
That would be powerful.
Mhm.
And that's the goal, or one of the goals. I know you are public speaking too, and that's like your expansion, right?
Yes, that's my expansion, getting on stage. I spoke at churches, but just doing more, meeting people where they are. Everybody not in the church.
Wow, I say that all the time.
Oh.
No, I do. I say you got, because actually I was talking to my friend Vince this early afternoon, and I was saying that like you can't tell a person to go on a 10-mile run with you if they're starving. Like you got to meet people where they are. You got to feed them first,
Yeah.
And I think we live in a society where we're telling people, hey, catch up. I got a Rolls Royce. I got a big house. I got all this money. I got 15 women. Speaking from a male's perspective, it's so hard. And then it's hard for us to come down off of that that peak, and we're too busy looking down, oh, I ain't going back there, oh no, I'm I'm definitely not doing that.
And it's so crazy, because life can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
While you saying where you won't be, so just staying humble, realizing that it's your duty. Like what Muhammad Ali, what your service is your rent here, basically, was one of his quotes. For real.
Yeah. Deontay Wilder has a quote similar to that.
Okay.
And Nipsey Hussle got a quote as well. The highest act is service. I'm drawing a blank on how they say it, but basically, highest human act is service. I know Nipsey Hussle says that, and Deontay Wilder says something similar to that as well. You know who Deontay Wilder is?
Yeah. He's a boxer, the tall one, right?
Yeah, the heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, that's Deontay.
Okay. Yeah,
he's a bad man. What sports did you like?
Basketball.
Who's your favorite basketball player?
Well, it used to be, Michael Jordan. And it's just kind of like I can't even keep up. I don't know who's on the Bulls team now. It's just everything is just changing.
Yeah. What would you say to that 15-year-old girl that's pregnant now?
Before I could have got to her, I would have said, baby girl, don't keep your legs closed. Don't waste your time with these little boys. Go to college, get you a degree, get on your stuff, get what you want. And then think about stuff, because my son was a big responsibility, but again, I told anybody, I don't know if I would have graduated from high school, the road that I was on, if I wouldn't have slowed down and had him. So I call him my high school diploma, and the other kids, my associates, my bachelor's, and the master's was for me. Yep.
How's dating? Yeah, how's dating? How's that? I'm
not dating.
No? So how do you find your husband?
I'm waiting.
Well, okay. I'm confused now. How do you find a husband if you're waiting? Like you don't go on dates at all? Like,
well, I mean, okay, so I moved here in March.
Okay.
So in the middle of the pandemic, and I just haven't really been dating. I haven't met anyone. And the guys that want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to them. So it's like before I settle and for anything, I just wait.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where do you draw that strength from? In terms of like, the easy answer is God.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Okay, no, I'm saying that's the easy answer, God.
Yeah.
You are human though, like, and I'm not talking about just sex. I'm just talking about like the human element of life, like wanting to go on vacations, wanting to just have dinner, wanting to feel beautiful, wanting to have someone talk to your son about changing a tire, or things like that.
Right.
Where does that strength come from? Okay, you got it. Yeah.
No, I'm listening to you.
No, like, where does that strength come from to say, you know what, this, I don't believe this is the one, so I'm gonna extract, even though I know that this will be short-term success.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay firm and wait for the grand slam.
So, the strength just comes from, I stay busy, just working on different things, just working. I know that that's probably not the best thing I should be doing, but, how do you date right now when I haven't ran across anyone, that I'm interested in? Yeah, sure. Guys try to holler at me every day, especially on social media. But why am I going to waste my time with them and I'm not interested in them? So I'd rather not waste my time and, just to settle and get somebody. You know what I'm saying? So,
they have Christian Mingle.
Oh, I don't, you know what? Let me tell you. So somebody was like, go on the Facebook. Facebook has a dating.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then, man, don't just too many older, different races, men was trying, not racist, but racist was trying me. And so I just shut it down.
Okay.
And are you on Clubhouse?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So Clubhouse, that's the new thing.
What is Clubhouse? What is it?
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone real quick so I can show you. But Clubhouse, let me show you the app. You see this man face? Oh shoot. You see this man face like right there next to Facebook?
I see it, yeah.
Okay. So that's the app. And then when you get into it, can you see the rooms?
Yeah, I see it.
So it's like everybody be on here talking in different rooms. So it's a social media networking app, and it's bomb. It's the best thing. You got to get on there.
Wait a minute. So you go into the rooms. So is there a topic of the room?
So look, real quick. I know this unprecedented, but let me just show you. I'm about to jump into this room that I've been in before I got on here. So watch. What y'all talking about now? D-Lo. See, they talking. Can you hear them?
In real time?
Can we mute the mics? I'm getting like hella echoes.
Wait a minute, time out. They talking in real
relationship stuff now. Yeah.
Can you see? Can you hear?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get off the subject, but that's what it is. They be in there talking.
Yeah, Jarvis. I'm already on that, Jarvis. You already know that. But what so it's in real time?
It's in real time. It feels like a interactive like podcast is what it feels like. So people be on there talk about relationships, like they just saying mute the mics because I was actually on stage. Like they have a stage and they have an audience and you're talking to people. Huh? And so because I was on stage, they could hear me talking to you because I didn't mute my mic. And so that's why I just got off. But yeah, it's on it. This is like what's popping.
Really? So Clubhouse is wow. So people are just talking.
And so they have this
So people are literally talking like 24 hours a day.
Oh my God. They be having me on there like on the weekends till like 4 a.m. It like I didn't build friendships just in a short time that I've been on here. And so
can you see their face?
No.
It's just voices?
It's just voices, but you're in the rooms.
Can you click on anybody's room?
Yeah, I can click on anybody's room. So like they celebrities that's on here. So let me see somebody that you may know. Like the game, the rapper, the game.
Yeah.
He has a room that's on here right now. It's just different stuff. People be talking about mental health. People talking about Of course, you got people hooking up, talking about all just everything. Horoscopes, not that I'm into that, but they talk about church, they talk about food. Like right now, they have a T.I. versus Young Jeezy 10 songs, tune in. They all this.
And that's all that's all you can talk about in that room is that.
Well, I mean, it just depends on who the moderator is. So, you get off topic.
So how do you get anointed the moderator?
You start the room. So, or if whoever start the room trust you enough, they can they'll make you a moderator.
So instead of your followers following you, they're in a real-time conversation.
Well, we follow each other. That's how I know who's on. And sometimes like they'll ping me and stuff. So like if say for instance I'm on this call and somebody want me or something, they'll ping me and then it'll like come to my phone as an alert and I just jump in the conversation.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. But it's dope. You got to get there.
Okay.
Sorry to take you off.
No, right. No, it's fine. It's fine because people in the chat probably want to know about it as well.
But I was gonna say, so with Clubhouse now, they have a shoot your shot on Fridays. So one of the pastors told him I wanted him to match me with somebody, and the dudes that he tried to match me with wasn't my type, and it was just like sort of like speed dating. So I did that. I put myself out there like that. I was on stage talking. So I did that.
How do you get on stage?
So they bring you up. So like the moderators, you raise your hand and then they bring you up. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's a button you push because you want to talk.
Yeah.
And he unmutes your mic or the moderator unmutes your mic?
So I unmute my own mic. So once I go up, my mic is on. My mic is hot, so you can't be talking.
How do you manage all those people in the room that are talking?
So that's why you have moderators boot them off stage if it's too many people talking.
Oh, so people can only hear who's on stage.
Right. So the rest is like the audience, so they just listening.
Oh, so if they talking, you can't hear them anyway.
You can hear them talk, but I mean the people that's in the audience.
Yeah, the people in the audience. Yeah.
No, they don't have a mic.
Gotcha.
So you only get a mic.
So you can put as many people as you want on the stage.
Yeah, but you can't have any like organization with so many people on the stage. So it's best to keep it minimum.
What's your thoughts on Kevin Samuels? He went viral last week.
You know what?
Because go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm just asking because he said I've only seen him one time, and that was the conversation he was having with the woman. He says, "You're average. Why would a successful man want you?" Like, I believe did she have kids or something like that, or I don't know. I can't remember. What's your thoughts on him? Because he's very like straightforward and to the point.
You know what? I just wouldn't have went on there because I'm sure he would have talked about me, being a mom with 4 boys. And so I don't need that type of negative energy around me because you're not going to tell me that I'm going to die alone. You're not my guy. You're not going to tell me anything. And so I think she should have went to a therapist versus going to him because, you rating yourself a 5. Don't ask me what I'm rating myself. I'm cute. I'm beautiful. You got to speak life into yourself. So I just think that was on her for walking into something like that because, this is not his first time talking down to women, I believe. So.
Okay. I don't know. I was just introduced to him because he had a video that went viral. So that's the first time that I actually saw him.
Yeah. He could have handled her better, but she shouldn't have, she shouldn't have went on there.
You mentioned counseling again and therapy. Mm-hmm. How did that impact you? And why are you so pro therapy now?
Because I was able to talk about, things that I went through, and it just gave me, help, you know, at a time when I needed it, somebody to talk to and really hear me out, and, you know, like an unbiased opinion, not trying to, you know, you don't know everybody else. You just hearing me out and telling me where I'm wrong, you know, just listening. So it's very helpful. People get it mixed up. You know, a psychologist is somebody that, you know, prescribes meds, but a therapist, you know, y'all just talking. And I just think that is healthy.
Okay. DB, you want to call in? And how do you seek a therapist or a counselor? Like, do they have to be like Christian based, or can it just be someone who's just, or preferably Christian based, or is it
Well, I
just
prefer, you know, Christian based, Black. Yeah. But I mean, it's just all about, you know, what's comfortable for the person.
got it?
Mhm.
Got it. Okay. Because I do believe that, like, talking to people, whether you call it a therapist.
Well, right. I'm sorry. The Majestic corrected me. A psychiatrist. My apologies. You're absolutely right.
Okay. DB's in here. He closes the show with me. What's up, DB?
Oh my God. You hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Am I clear to you? Picture me rolling. How you doing, young queen?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Do I have an echo? I hear one on my phone.
You don't have one for me. Does he have one for you, India?
No.
Okay, perfect. So I want to take it back just a little bit, if you don't mind. That day when your biological mom came to the school, what was the feeling that you had for the rest of the day or for the rest of that week? Was it more like a confusion, or were you intrigued? Was there relief?
Well, I was confused. Like, I just had so many questions, but they wasn't coming out. So yeah, I was shocked.
Right. And because of your unique upbringing, what is or was your approach to parenting with your own children?
You know, that's a good question. So basically, you know, just trying to be there for them, love them, and just be the best that I can be to them. And, you know, speak life into them, empower them. So, you know, nobody told me to go to college. I just decided to go. You know, I had a friend that suggested it, but I'm giving my children like room to decide what they want to do, but we're having conversations about it. Like, do you want to start a business? Do you want to go to college? Like, I'm having those conversations and just being real engaged in next steps for them.
Right. And you also thanks for that answer. You also spoke about the baby dad's mom. You said she was a public figure.
Grandma.
I'm assuming that she still is or was for at least a decent amount of time. What's that relationship like with her now?
So, you know, my son is 20 now, so I don't communicate with them anymore. But it's cordial. Like, she's an older woman, and I have a lot of respect for her just because off the strength that she's an elderly woman. Before, you know, my mouth was like real bad, but no hard feelings now. I forgave her, and, you know, I want the best for them.
Right. You spoke about Tiffany Montgomery in the Millions Conference. You spoke about one thing, but what are some of the other things that you took away from that conference?
You know what? It was just like, when I got there, because I wasn't even going to go because just a lot of different things. And God told me to go. And like the week before the conference, the flight tickets was like $500, $600. And I'm just like, God, I don't want to spend that. And so I stayed up one night all Wednesday, and the flights went down. I think I paid like $200. And it was meant for me to go. And when I came back from the conference, I knew that I needed to move to Dallas. I had got that message there. And it was just very clear.
Yeah, got you. So this is something that I was thinking about as I'm listening to you talk here, and I was like, man, there's some pretty interesting things about India, you know. And I said, what is, if I ask India, what would she say if I asked her what is the most interesting thing about her and also the most intriguing thing about her? What would they be?
Interesting. You know, I don't know. I didn't put it out there. You know, I don't know. I just love promoting people, love helping people. That's the most interesting thing. I know that's the space that I'm in right now. Intriguing. I don't know. You know, I'm very gifted at I guess writing and just I don't know, making moves and doing the things that I need to do. I just limited at that. And traveling. I hope that made I don't know if that really fits what you're saying, but I wanted to give you something about me that I haven't already said.
I got you. This is because of your spirituality. I thought about this also too. What Bible verse do you feel has, or scripture has inspired you the most or helped you the most in life?
Psalm 23.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Oh, the Lord is my shepherd.
I want.
Yep. I shall not want. Yep.
He
That.
leadeth me to green pastures, and
He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. I know you didn't ask me for the whole thing.
I remember
that.
That's go ahead and show out. I see you.
That's what I say every day. Every day.
Not Proverbs 31.
Well, I am that, but no, I don't recite that every day.
And my brother Mike asked me in the chat, he said, can you tell us what some of your hobbies are outside of Bible study?
Oh, that's funny. You know, like I like to travel. I to you know, bowl, and I haven't been skating in a long time, but I would love to kind of get back into doing things that I used to do. And yeah, that's what I like to do.
Do you think a woman can turn Saul into Paul?
God, I don't know about a woman, but I mean,
Okay. All right. Just asking. Because maybe you got to meet him at Saul, you know. I was just thinking out loud. Go ahead, DB.
No, I thought the same thing, actually, Fred. I was actually going to say the same exact thing.
What were you about to say? What you said exact. What you about to say?
Well, I wasn't going to say those same words, but I was going to ask the same question.
Yeah, okay, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
I kind of felt your energy, you know, maybe because I was in a silent prayer, you know, it just came to me. I don't believe in osmosis.
Oh my God.
What's your take on homosexuality?
It's funny that you asked, because somebody asked me that in the Clubhouse chat. And I just said that, you know, according to the Bible, it's a sin. And, you know, the Bible says you repent and you turn away from, you know, the sin. And I gave an example so that people, was that?
No, I'll ask you next.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I gave an example of, you know, how I was fornicating. And, you know, I felt convicted not to, you know, to stop all that. And I repented and I turned from my ways. You know, yeah, that's it.
So you think you can ask for forgiveness away who you're attracted to in terms of women liking women and men liking men?
Yeah, I believe so. I know some people that have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just I know that guy. You know, he like women. What did he say? Do you remember that meme? That dude? I don't know. I don't know. That was a gay guy who said that now he's been healed. You know, he's a
Yeah, that was Lil Richard. It's true. Lil Richard said, and I think the last, maybe, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe he passed either last year or something like that, but about 4 or 5 years ago, Lil Richard came out. I'm pretty sure some people in the chat heard about it, and said that he was living in vain for all of those years and realized it, and he had a wife for the last few years of his life. Yeah, I caught that and thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Don't forget,
go ahead.
Redeemed on Amazon. Redeemed on Amazon or IndiaCrawford.com.
Yes.
All right. If y'all want to find out if she's single or not, go to IndiaCrawford.com. How about that? If you want to go out on a date, ask her out on a date, go to IndiaCrawford.com. You know what I mean? Ask for an autographed copy. How about that? All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as an author, I always have these two questions. What's the best book that you've ever read? And also, who are some of your favorite authors?
Let's see. So I like John Maxwell, his business books. I've read like TD Jakes books, and just, you know, I just kind of like get a feel for like independent authors like Jera Mitchell. She's like a author that she went to rivalry high schools with me, you know, Noah from Gary, like supporting those type of authors. I just, you know, read like that.
Understood. Man, well, we really go ahead, Fred. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
No, go ahead. I'm glad she came in. I mean, because we're so testosterone driven in here, India. You know what I mean? And when a woman comes in here, it's like, you know what I mean? It's so soft. Like I even it's just great having women in here. You know, it just adds so much layers. But we have a woman coming in tomorrow too, and then we don't get another one probably for another year. You know, I mean, it just happens like that. So, but it's always refreshing when we get female guests to come in here. You know,
yeah, I don't want to miss this. My brother Dave Jack asked this because you are in the Dallas area. He said, "Did you hear about the Errol Spence Jr. story, and what you think about it?" So he had an accident a little over a year ago.
You know, that was very unfortunate. Like, I'm glad that he, you know, made it through and was able to, you know, come back, you know, the champion.
Right. It is an
Do you think
story.
that was an act of God that saved him?
I think so.
Okay. And because he is from the DFW area down there, I know you said that you were somewhat of a casual boxing fan, but would you say that he's one of your favorite fighters?
I don't think I have a favorite fighter. Like, I will, you know, used to watch the Mayweather fights and, you know, get excited about that. I think he's very talented, and he has a very promising future, you know, for him to come back like he did, you know. So yeah, but I don't have a favorite boxer.
Is there a fight you would like to see, or are you not that attached to it?
Who was going to match him up with? They was asking him at the post show, like
Terrence Crawford,
the guy that was at the fight. I would like to, you know, see them because he came all the way to Dallas to see him.
Oh, you really watching fights now? You really hang out with boxing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to see that. You know, he came here to study, so that would be nice.
Yeah, he's from Omaha. He's from Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, okay. So it's not too far, but
yeah, that's what we were talking about before you came in late. We were talking about that.
I am sorry. I was actually in the clubhouse.
Having a good old time.
Man, trying to talk to some people.
Uh-huh. Everybody
Yeah,
wants to come. Go ahead.
I got another question for her, and I want to make sure I say this before too. You got to remember we're in a barber shop, so this is not just online. Like, we're literally in a barber shop, so you can be as honest and as candid as you like to.
Right.
But we understand that you have your spirituality and your religious beliefs, so we know that your requirements for a man, you know, is somebody that you feel has the same faith or whatever. But outside of that, what are some of, my brother John Pace said, what are some of the requirements for a man other than that?
So, you know, I'm gonna just be general about it, because men like to get what you say and then try to come up as a representative, you know, will send their representative. Be general, you know, somebody that's secure in themselves. Because I don't need no man that's jealous of me. Just, you know, good credit, if you know, or working on it, and just ambitious and have goals in life. Like, don't just, you know, not want nothing out of life. Like, you know, I desire to be a millionaire, a multimillionaire. And so, you know, I'm putting in some work in order to see that. So we got to work together on it. And so just be willing to work, love children, because, you know, I have my boys. Yeah, and just family oriented. I'll just leave it at that.
That's actually
Okay,
a good question.
He also wants to know, are you willing to relocate to the Maryland area?
Oh no, it's cold.
Right. Oh, go ahead, Fred.
No, I was gonna say, how do you manage dating knowing that like you have 4 boys, and that's I hate to use the word compromise because it makes people defensive, but that is something that he has to intake. And you understand what I'm saying? Like, regardless if 20, 15, 11, and 5, like he has. I'm sorry, say it again. I want to get it right.
No, 20, 16, 11, and 5. So basically, you know, my boys are, you know, taken care of, you know, so I'm not just coming, just needing, you know, just, I don't know, like my children, they're taken care of. But at the same time, you know, he just has to match me and want to do life with me. You know, so I'm not for everybody, because some men be like, you know, I can't date no woman with kids, and you just not the man for me. So that's how I look at it.
Got it. I'm with that. I don't think there's no cap on anyone. Be honest with you, like I genuinely don't. I think that there's someone out there, and it's what you create. Do you have like a cookie cutter type of ideal relationship, or is it like can be whatever it wants? I'm basically summing up with the questions that people have in the chat.
Yeah, I don't have like because relationships can go this way and that way, but the foundation is, you know, is on God, and just you know, just going from there. Yeah.
DB.
No, man, that's it right there, man. I just, you know, I want to thank her so much for coming to the shop and sharing her story and her information. And Patty Dean has posted the link for her book in the chat, so I'm pretty sure that she'll get some subscriptions and purchases from here in the barbershop, as we always do. But man, we thank her so much, and would love for her to come back again to the barbershop to let us know, you know, how life has changed once she becomes a little more financially empowered, and also with some of her successes, and also with her relationship, you know. So
that's all the niggas care about. How's a relationship? Niggas like niggas go, and your Instagram is Indy Crawford, right?
Yeah,
INDY Crawford. You know what I mean? So feel free, if y'all got questions, go ask her. You know what I mean?
So they want to know how old I am.
She told you already. Why you ain't got to ask? You told them already.
Yeah.
You said the oldest is 20.
Yeah. I'm 37. Yep,
told you
I was
already.
a teen mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
In my humble opinion, I thought y'all got that already. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, but thank you so much.
37, so she don't mind saying it.
Yeah, she like 37. Yeah, 37.
That's right.
37 looks great on you, India.
And can I address? I don't know. I don't know if your guests read the comments.
No, go ahead, read it. No, hey,
So-
shit, I'm with it. Go ahead, do what you do.
She has too much baggage. It's unrealistic for a guy to wait for marriage, for sex, and be a stepdaddy. That's your opinion, you know. That's your opinion. But baggage is not something that I have, and my children are a blessing. Yeah. So that's all I got to say about it.
You know what? I always use. It's funny how Malcolm X is the answer to all these questions in life. You know, I mean, I always go back. Like whenever I have a question in my life, I always like, what would Malcolm do? And I'm not. People don't take it out of context. I am not even 1% of what the sacrifices Malcolm X had to create, and people always say like, oh, you're not worthy of this. Oh, you got that. You got this. You understand? And when you look at Malcolm's life, the nigga was a felon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking to men. I'm using this tone intentionally.
Oh no, you good.
The nigga was a felon. He was the scum of the earth in terms of America. You understand? He wasn't supposed to be this great leader who's going to live in infamy. In 2022, 22, when America is upset, you know what these young black men are going to refer to? If you take the knife out 6 inches, if you got a 9-inch knife and you take it out 6 inches, that's not progress. That's what people going to refer to, you know, by any means necessary. So I don't go by that cookie cutter notion that says, because and that's why I wanted to ask you about that Kevin Samuels thing. There's no cookie cutter to life. Like there's no like, okay, you got to have a kid. Okay, you got to have married, White House. Like life is forever evolving and learning. You understand? Exactly. It's forever. Like it's through perpetuity, because your energy transfers to your kids, then that transfers to your grandkids, and so on and so forth. It's like the simple analogy is, you know how to make something as good, if not better, than your biological mom or your stepmom. I mean, what's called adopted mom. Yeah. So it's forever evolution. Like shit. You was put up for adoption at birth. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So what the fuck people talking about? Like people talking about, oh, it's nigga. You don't know what a man wants. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. And her mom wanted her to have an abortion. So it's a miracle that I'm sitting here. I addressed what they had to say, you know, because I just wanted to, you know, put it out there for, you know, future people. But
no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with like, oh, if you're this, you can't have that. Shit, I was arrested at 19. I only spent 2 days in jail. But if I say I'm arrested and I'm applying for a job, oh, you can't get this job. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, like I was laid off at 27 and you get what I'm saying? Like, and I had to bet on myself for the next 13 years. Who would have knew? Who would have knew I would have become this? You get what I'm saying? So ain't no ceilings. I'm gonna quote the great Lil Wayne. No ceilings, motherfuckers. No ceilings.
Exactly. I'm winning at life.
Stop putting ceilings on people, man. I was having fun when I said great, but we thank you. He's being sarcastic. But we're any last words you want to say to India before we?
Yes, I do. India, you have not only the couple of hundred people that are in the barbershop, but you got the ears of the entire world listening to you right now. Before you leave, what do you want to tell the whole world?
Man, don't let this world get you down. 2020, 2021, you go, keep your head up. And, you know, for my believers, keep God first. And, you know, non-believers, come on, God first. And just peace and blessings to everybody. But just stay up. Don't let the weight of the world sit on you because it's not meant for you to carry it.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And thank you for coming in. Please come
Thank
back.
you for having me.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm sorry.
It was fun. She got caught. She told on herself. She got caught in that clubhouse and lost track of time. But that's the truth. That's the truth, though. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. When I saw the 9 PST, I was like, oh, so that's, his time is midnight for me. That's what I was thinking. My son, like, that's late to have an interview. I'm like, but that's what it said. But I should have confirmed with you.
No, that's 11 o'clock for you.
Oh.
You're not in Indiana no more. You're not in Kansas, Dorothy.
No, I'm time.
No, it's only 2 hours in Dallas. It's 11 o'clock for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I thought it was a 3-hour difference.
It's 2 hours in Dallas. That seems weird to me that Texas is a 2 hour. I think it should be 1, But anyway, what do I know? They say Southwest.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more question. 3 people asked the same question, so I want to get this out real quick.
Yeah.
Could you date an Islamic man?
I would like to have the same.
Could you date a Muslim?
I would like to have the same faith, just because the warfare that comes with me, that's real too. The enemy don't want me to help people.
Can you elaborate?
Just, when I try to do certain things, I have to fight that much harder to get things done. I'm praying, but I just, the ops just be trying. So,
Gotcha.
So I would rather be equally yoked with someone of the same faith, because we can go in and pray, and praying.
So you can't.
Yeah, I'm a young fella. I hear people saying that using that term equally yoked. What does that mean?
For me, it means that, we are, one, serving God, praying in Jesus' name, and just being like on the same playing field, being on the same level, and just having the same mindset, same goals and faith. And, unequally yoked is us being different on the same page. For instance, if my ex was an unbeliever and I'm a believer, I'm trying to go to church, I'm trying to do this, and you're not trying to do that, it's just not going to work.
Understood.
Yeah, because, give you an example, it's just like when the warfare comes, the spiritual warfare comes, and I'm praying and you're not going to, you're going to be like, oh my God, you see all of this happening and losing your mind, when I'm over here peaceful because I know that God got me. I know I done prayed about it and I'm leaving it. And so with having a different faith, it just don't add up to me personally.
Understood. Well, again, thanks for that. Thanks for communicating that. Thanks for everything that you've done, for your family unit, for the community, and for yourself. And we appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Give up that pork. That's what it is. You don't get no pork on your fork, huh?
Oh no, I don't eat pork.
I'm joking with you.
Oh, okay.
We appreciate you coming in the shop.
Okay.
Indy.
Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. It's good having women in here, man.
Yeah, man, we needed a little bit of that estrogen to balance out our testosterone.
Right.
Man, these dudes, hey, man, I love my brothers, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all crazy as hell. But, man, y'all got to let y'all nuts hang. Where the phone calls at? A woman come in here and she seems like she's driven and got her head on straight. You know what I mean? And the phone calls are to a minimum. I thought y'all was going to be blowing it up. But had she had on some booty shorts and she was twerking and didn't have no conversation, probably would have been blowing up the chat. You know what I'm saying? Heart eyes and all kind of ring emojis and all type of shit.
Yeah.
But I still love y'all.
He said Fred Simp Master. I just don't believe there's no ceilings on a human being. You know what I mean? Shit. I mean, look at my net worth. You just use that as an example. Like, there's like I don't put ceilings on people. That ain't my job. That ain't my job. I'm not putting no ceilings on no woman. She can attract a man, the same way you can attract a woman. You understand? So I can't. That's your vernacular. That's your world that you live in. You know what I mean? There's 7.8 billion ways to live this life. Some men don't want kids. Some men can't have kids. You understand? Like, who are we to say you can't have that? Shit. If that's the case, why are gay men in Hollywood? You understand? Like why is there more than one religion if there's one God? Answer those questions. Those conversations are probably more beneficial to your life than saying, oh, one woman this, one woman that. You know what I mean? So that's my perspective. I ain't putting no ceilings on nobody. Nobody. I was having this. What happened?
No, Boxing Barbecue says celibacy dried up the phone calls.
Oh, probably did. But take the conversation somewhere else. You know you ain't getting the pussy. Take it somewhere else. You know what I mean?
I gave them the analogy about the hand on the thigh, a couple of weeks ago. You got to go to the movies first, and when you at the movies, you already know you're gonna go to dinner. If go sit in Denny's. Yeah, I said Denny's. I'm saying y'all gonna go get it the $1.99 or the $2.99 Grand Slam, and then you gotta do a little walk at the park, and you gotta keep finessing it until you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Shit. Usually, the more time you spend with them, the more comfortable they are. Shit. And when y'all sitting in the car, slide the hand on the thigh, and start doing your talking. But sometimes you gotta finesse it, man. Take it somewhere else.
I'm gonna tell you what Will Smith says. I'm gonna tell you what Will Smith said about unrealistic. And I need everybody, I swear to you, it will help you in life. Will Smith has something called the Willisms. I know half of y'all's probably already heard it. He says, you got to think unrealistic. And he says, who would have thought that you can swipe down on a plastic thing on a wall and it would cut off all the electricity in your house? He says, who would have thought a man could literally bend a piece of metal and fly millions of people across the largest mass of water? You got to think unrealistic, man. You know, when you live your whole entire life in the margins, you get 11 years of freedom. And that's at 68 to 79. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? You got to find a way to get it in your 20s and your 30s. And guess what you got to do? You got to think unrealistic, because I was unrealistic. I was realistic. High school, college, teacher. Go to college, get a degree. You know what I mean? So, but that's what he created. That was, in my humble opinion, I don't necessarily enjoy. I personally don't enjoy conversations about other people's bedrooms. I'm never that guy. I don't think you guys have ever even heard me even talk about that. Like, because you create, if you got the confidence, if you live in truth, you can create whatever you want. You want 2 women? Be real with yourself. You want 3 women? Be real with yourself. You know what I mean? I just think that you create your life. You don't just live a preset life. You don't live a preset life. It's not. I don't think we're not supposed to do that. I think God. People ask, do I believe in God? Yes, I believe in God. I just think it's a one-on-one relationship. You know, that's just what I believe. I think we're supposed to get to the 1% of our brain. I genuinely believe that we're supposed to get to the 0.5% of our brain. You know, we got to get everything out of this. You know, we're too afraid to live in the margins. Too afraid. We're so afraid. We're too afraid that we're going to be ostracized. You know, like, I'm 5'7" and the blackest nigga probably in here. I am the most unlikeliest nigga to be successful. I am the last person to get picked on the spectrum of life. I'm short, dark skinned, bald headed. I'm the last person on the spectrum. For real, think about it.
Right.
The last person. So go figure. Like I can't place that on anyone. I'm being genuine as possible. You know what I mean? That's just it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and like say, oh, it's unrealistic for you to say what you want to get out of life. No, that's not me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm just gonna say, try your best, do your best. You know, is the odds against you? Yeah. If people think like you all the time, yeah. Shit. I mean, man, life is amazing. I'm telling you guys, for me, life is amazing when you walking in truth. That's all I'm gonna say. It is amazing. You know what I mean? It's just amazing. It really is. And instead of this cookie cutter life that this society want us to believe that we're in, you know, shit, you know, so, yeah, I mean, that's my perspective. Shit, her life may just be beginning at 35, 37, excuse me. My humble opinion, shit. I woke up at 32, like, oh, this shit is like, wow. You know, I was treading water till I was 32 years old. You know, I ain't selling no ladies' dream. I tell a woman the truth. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. I always live, not always. My last 10 years of my life, I don't know, somewhere now, I've been as honest as I possibly can with women. You know, it's just it's life is comfortable that way. And that's the way I want to live my life.
Yes, indeed.
I don't want to live a lie. I don't. I really don't. It's not worth it. You know, so
it's been better since you've had your awakening, huh?
Say it again. Oh yeah, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. You know, life is beautiful. I ain't hiding shit. Life is amazing. You know, and I don't think it's nobody business people's bedrooms. I really don't. I'll talk about it in joke form, but I'm not gonna interview a girl and be like, hey, so how's your bedroom life? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, or for a man, that's awkward to me. Like, you get it how you live it. You know what I mean? Not less if you're the expert on it. Like, you say, oh, you can make a girl come 45 times by doing this, and you know what I mean? Or you like, how? Teach me, nigga. Like, if you could.
I said 42.
Oh, 42. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? What's up, Patricia Shelton? You know what I mean? So, oh man. So it's just you know, that's just my stance on it. That's just my stance.
You want to take one more phone call?
Why? Who's trying to call in?
Deacon said he was trying to call.
Why are you always trying to call in so late? He knows when DB gets on the phone. Phone lines are off. It's the last time. This is the last time. This is the last. We got to call Asia Math. He okay?
Yeah, Asia. Yeah, he texted me earlier today.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. This is the last time. Deacon 305. Okay, this is the last time. Okay, everything else is not acceptable. I gave the lawyer your phone number today again. Okay, something happened with her phone. Okay, I gave her your number, and she too had a death in the family. So that's where she was, and I'm pretty sure y'all talk sometime this week. Okay, and okay, so oh man,
I can't see you open up a line.
Yeah, right now it's open.
It's open, Deacon. It's open. Let me see. PJ's Big Dog said, "Get that book, Fred."
Oh, what'd he say?
Purchase it for your girl and your side pieces.
I don't have side pieces. I ain't gotta lie. I ain't gotta live a lie. That's the difference. I don't lie. I ain't gotta lie.
Wait, but why you gotta lie to have side pieces?
Yeah, I don't have side pieces.
Oh, okay.
I got all ribeyes.
Why you just can't have a whole bunch of veggie wraps? Why you gotta have a ribeye? Man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
what Denny's? I was talking about Denny's earlier. PD started laughing at me.
305.
What Denny's was y'all going to back in the day?
Denny's that I go to? I was in
Like
Whittier,
after the
so I went off
clubs and all of that stuff.
I was in Whittier, so I went off the 60 right there on the Industry Parkway. You know?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because I was in Whittier from 19 to 32, somewhere in there. But what's up, Deacon? What you got?
Hey, what's going on, my brothers? Man, I didn't know that, man, and give her my condolences. Man, the devil is trying to get busy, but he can't out busy God. What's up, DB?
How you doing, sir? Feeling good, man. Thank you.
Blessed, man. Fred, for real.
What's up?
You know I'm having issues, so they got me on these pain meds, so I be knocked out.
Okay.
So I be trying to jump up to the show. And
no worries, man. No worries. I got you, man.
Yeah, and when I
was waiting on you to call in, though. I mean, this was like right down your lane.
Yeah, I know it. I had to wake up and put some prayer oil on me. I went and put oil on my wife. I woke up out of a bad dream. I was like, I was in my Cadillac, and we was like driving on the cemetery, and someone was having a funeral, and it disturbed my spirit. So I woke up and I began to pray, and I put oil on myself, and I put oil on my wife, and I prayed for all the families. And my wife, her aunt, she was found unresponsive the other day. So me and her had to keep all of our grandkids. We got 4 grandkids. So we had that going on. Then one of my grandsons hurt his knee on the trampoline. So we had to get him to the doctor. This was a lot of stuff going on. But I prayed for her. I got on my knees. Then she got up. She got better, the aunt. But once she got to the hospital, the next day, they put her in intensive care now. So, but we're still praying for her. She having problems breathing on her own and her heart. So, yeah, I'm asking all who pray to pray for her as well. You know what I mean? Because she's a great lady, man. Don't want nothing to happen to her. But no, man, I really wanted to get in with the young lady, man. She's a beautiful soul. And I was calling in, but I see that I couldn't get in. I said, well, maybe Fred don't want nobody to disturb the conversation. I didn't know what
people
was
were
going
calling in. People were calling in. We had 2 or 3 phone calls, and then
yeah,
DB
my bad.
came in.
Yeah, man, and I caught a few of the questions that I think you was asking her. What color is God, and you know, what's heaven like, and all that stuff. And then another thing was she got some. I ain't gonna say nasty comments because I don't know what a person's purpose is. Maybe, you know, sometimes we speak and we can mean well, but it can come out wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be careful with that. But as it pertains to God, God is not a color. God is a holy energy, which is a spirit, which when he came and walked the earth and manifested in the body of Christ Jesus, that man was described as a man of color. But the spirit of God, again, is a holy energy, a spirit. Heaven, know this. The Bible say the living and the dead shall be judged. So if dead is dead, resting, sleep until the day of judgment, nobody's going to die today and go to heaven today, because there's a judgment day coming, which the living and the dead shall be judged. So people who be saying, well, I know my such and such is in heaven singing the praises and doing all this. Well, maybe that's the way they see things. But for me, I believe in having a personal relationship with God. You have to have a personal relationship with God. That's why I can give so many testimonies about God, what he has done for me. You know what I'm saying? Because he said that he would, and I leaned on him because he said that he would, and he delivered every time. When man let me down, you see, you can promise me something. I can promise you something, and I can mean it, Fred. I can mean it from the bottom of my heart. But if something pops up And then I tell you that I can't do it because something else popped up. Not speaking about you personally, but I'm just saying I don't experience things like this where people done got pure mad at me because once you tell a person something, they banking on that. So it's like it goes from a promise to you must do that, you obligated to do that, and there's no way out of it, even if you have something to do that popped up unexpectedly. And people will begin to hate you for it, dislike you for it, and it causes chaos. That's why we must lean and depend on God. He'll never let you down. Don't put all your trust and faith and weight in man because he's just a man. And understand the flesh is a weak thing. We have to lean on which is eternally strong, eternally forever. God is forever. And there's no power greater than the power of God. There is no other God but God. And when you talk about different titles of religions, because you have different people who practice different ways, but universally recognize the one God that calls him by many different names. So I don't get caught up or confused when people call God Allah, Jehovah, go down the list. But recognize the one God that created us all. Long as you have a personal relationship with God, you'll be just fine. You have to have a personal relationship. That will build your testimony. That will get you through the life. God is giving us through the word of God the blueprint for your life. You say, I what you're saying. You lean on, I'm not saying it's totally, but sounds like you lean on Malcolm for your blueprint for life. But I believe the word of God is the blueprint, because everything I go through in my life, the word has an answer. The word always have an answer for whatever I'm going through in my life. And I've been in some low places, some high places, but just as high as I've gone, I've fell just as low. But God is always there to pick me up. And I give him the praise because he's worthy to be praised. And the highest praise that you can give God is to tell him this: glory, hallelujah. That is the highest praise to give God. It's to give him glory. And I think that young lady's gonna be okay. And I know this for a fact, and I'm gonna say this and I get off. I know I'm long-winded, but I don't mind when it comes to God, because the Bible says do not keep company with a group of people if you're not talking about God, because whatever that crowd is doing, you shall become it. That's whatever that crowd is doing. If it's not of God, and if you're not talking about God, know that you'll be a part of that nonsense. So I have to bring up God at all times. But know this. I prayed for my wife 29 going on 30 years ago. God brought me my wife because when I was choosing on my own, I was choosing out of lust. I was choosing out of all things but the right thing. And that was to lean and depend on God. And he brought me my wife. He brought me my family, my children. He made a way for me to raise them. He made a way out of no way. That is what God does. Hey, man, I love y'all, and I appreciate you, Fred. And I don't mean to be crashing the party late. You know what I'm saying? When they say tardy for the party, I apologize. But that's why I love you, brother, because you have enough patience with me, man, and understand and you know, allow me to come in. DB, I appreciate you as well. Patty Dean is study doing her job, man. She study makes the show do what it do. Salute to the queens, man. Patricia, all of y'all, yes, man. Indeed. The kings.
Absolutely. Yes, and last thing I want to tell you before you hang up, the brother Derek Collins and somebody else mentioned you earlier, said where Deacon at? So did Patty. But they were saying that, you know, Deacon has stuff going on, so make sure if he don't call in today, you call and check on him. So shout out to those brothers, man, Derek Collins and whoever else said that earlier. So shout out and respect to you, Deacon. Thanks for calling, brother.
I appreciate all y'all, man. Peace and love, man. I appreciate y'all. Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right, one.
The doors of the church are now open.
No, they closed, nigga.
I can hear the organ playing right now.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah is the highest praise. That's a great song too. I love that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Anyways, I gotta get what you got.
No, I watched a video of the brother Jamar beforehand, and I know I switched rails real fast, but yeah, I watched that video, man, that you posted, and it was crazy.
Oh yeah, isn't that crazy? Right in front of his family.
Man, so tell me what you think about this.
Yes.
All right, for anybody who saw the video, I saw the video, and I always kind of have this feeling whenever there's 2 or 3 people, when everybody's talking at the same time, and it causes these cops already have like a Napoleon sort of complex, which is probably the reason why they go into law enforcement, to give them some sense of authority. But they don't have, I guess, the necessary training that they need. But these dudes can't function, which is obvious. They can't function in a tumultuous environment, which is a part of the reason why they ended up pulling out their tasers, their guns, and just killing us senselessly. But when I hear the wife or the girlfriend asking questions at the same time, it just sounds like not like Charlie Brown. It just sounds like it's too much. So I think that the person who's filming cannot talk to the officer that's involved, because he's probably trying to talk to I don't know what you call it, the person in handcuffs, but talk to the other officer that's next to him and ask questions calmly. What is this about? Why are you pulling us over? Why is he handcuffed? And have a conversation with them separately. But I just think when it's 3 and 4 people talking at one time, it's going to make the freaking cops go crazy, and they end up pulling out their damn guns for no reason, because they get scared, because they're not used to being in, they're not used to being in situations where they're around, like as Brother Khalid would say, around rhythmic people. They don't get the same kind of vibration. They don't get our vibrations. So they get nervous. They feel not inferior. What's the word I'm looking for? They feel threatened every time they hear conversation and see movement. You know what I mean? And these people are coming from Peoria and end up working in Chicago. These people are coming from Orange County and working in Los Angeles. These people coming from some other suburb and then going to work in Dallas. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, what's your thought on that? Just the extra talking going on while the arrest is taking place.
Like, what would you want them to do? If I understood you right, I'm talking about the people being arrested. Hopefully, I understood you the correct way. Like,
no.
Do you think civilians is the word I'm looking for? So the civilians should not be talking. The civilian.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. So DB is getting arrested. Okay, by John Dabalina. Cop John Dabalina got DB in handcuffs. So DB is going crazy. What the fuck you got me in cuffs for? What the fuck did I do? Motherfucker, get me out these handcuffs. And Fred is standing right next to me and the other officer, and you and the other officer are having combative words back and forth. What did he do? What did he do? You understand? And so it's just a bunch of talking. Fred can have a conversation with the other officer 3 feet away, but it's a, when I say calm conversation, I just meant just having a conversation with the person where it's not screaming going on, because the public is going to see it. And remember, we're only 11% of the population. And then out of that 11%, we have Candace Owens' and Jason Whitlock's and the Paris Denards and Cameron, what was his damn name? Daniel Cameron. We got some of those. So really, we're not even 11% of the population. We're only a small percentage. But the district attorney, the president, or the chair for the police union, all the judge, all these people are going to see it. And remember, we're the minority in numbers, I'm saying. So they're going to see it. And to them, it's just going to be one of those things where we're screaming. So I'll say, well, he felt threatened, so it's a justified killing. Let's see what the chat's saying.
So we should be more deliberate, more obviously calmer, more direct, more succinct in our outward communication.
In our delivery.
In our delivery. Yeah.
Because just straight up question. So Fred's asking Officer John Dabalina number 2, what did he do?
Yeah.
Why do you have cuffs on him?
Yeah.
We've been sitting here having lunch for the last hour. Because what do you think the result's going to be if you're screaming? You think they're going to let me out the cuffs?
I get it. So
I want a situation where it's going to end well for us at that moment. And then at that moment, then also when we take them to court, we also have a case where we go, you want compliance? I complied. I'm let out the cuffs right then and there, so my life is saved. And I think Sergeant Dorsey probably mentioned something similar to this right here. So we can get home safely. But once we get home safely, now we can call the offices of Johnny Cochran.
Yeah, we're so defenseless as it pertains to police. Like, think about this shit. The niggas you're fighting got guns. Think about that shit. Would you take a knife to a fist? Would you take a gun to? Would you take a knife to a gunfight?
A knife to a gunfight?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
yeah, P. Good said it right there. Doing stress on confusion, being emotionally being emotional doesn't de-escalate the situation. Yeah.
It's man, we're so compromised. You know, you can be calm. George Floyd was as rational, I thought. I mean, from what I saw in those videos, he was very compliant. He was moving with him. You know, it seemed like it. He had questions because he was confused. Because you want to go home.
Real quick, while you're on that subject right there, was there at that point, was there a civil suit for George Floyd's family?
It should be. Fuck yeah.
I think so, right? And they won some money, right? Okay.
Yeah, I
gotta go. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Huh?
I said, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's you got to get home because you got to tell your story.
Right.
You got to tell your story, dog. And I've heard all the conversations on Instagram and social media, and you know, I've pushed a cop, but I was 19, 20 years old, man. You know what I mean? Like in Whittier and shit like that. You know what I mean? Dre got hit by a drunk driver and shit like that. Man, like it's I've done that. And I thank God that I didn't get I didn't get arrested that night. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a fight you literally can't win. I heard all the noise online and you know, when I'm full of myself, I talk like that too. But she made so much, her sense was so, I'm talking about Sergeant Dorsey, like, you got to get home. Like, you got to get home, man. You got to get home. You're going to be a hashtag for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? To 200 people.
Yeah.
You know, get home.
Clown?
Go ahead.
No, some clown in the chat. I don't even want to say his name, but talking about you sound like Candace Owens.
Oh no, we're not sounding like Candace Owens. I want you to get home and tell your story and get your $1 million. That's what I want you to do. I want you to get your $1 million. And hopefully someone across the street was recording. Hopefully I was driving by and I recorded it. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes, sir.
I like every time I see a black person pull over, a Mexican get pulled over, I pull over right with them. And I'm 15 feet away and I watch, you know, and I'm going to record it, you know, and I'll do my best. If I think it gets rough or something, I'll do my best to get in between them and stuff like that. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, when I'm driving to California, I'm not armed, you know, I'm not going to say when I do it, but, you know, but it's, you know, it's it's a precarious position to put, especially as a man. A man's lowest position is when he know he can't do nothing about anything. Like, that takes all the testosterone out of you. A police officer punch you in the face with no cameras around, and you punch him back. That's 15 years. I don't know what it is. It sounds like it's going to be a long time. I don't know what the law say.
Right.
You know, but we fall prey to the illusion of, oh, we got to do this. Like these young kids killing each other and shit over rap beef. You know what I mean? Don't get killed, man. I'm telling you guys, teach your kids this. You know what I mean? Teach your kids this. I thank God that by the time Lincoln starts driving, all he got to do is push a button. And I don't know that he's getting arrested or something. Not getting arrested, but getting detained. And I'll be able to get there. You understand? Hopefully in that time, you know. And teach your kids where to pull over at. You know, you ain't got to stop when the cop is like pull you over. Pull over in a safe place. You ain't got to pull over on a dark street. You know, pull over in a highly lit area. Drive 5 miles an hour. Put your hand out the window. Say you're giving up, and pull over to a safe place where you feel safe. Hit the live button on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, protect yourself. Like, you got to do these things. I've played, and that's the sad thing about being a black man in America, that I've played out all these examples. I played them all out. Because I go to this charging station 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. You know?
Yeah. So let's see. I didn't mention hold on. Where is it? Patty Dean just put something down. Where is it at? Oh, Patty Dean. This is it right here. We need to put this on the damn t-shirt. Damn it, it keeps jumping. Don't allow your emotions to betray your intelligence.
Yeah, man. I rather joke about you getting pulled over by the police and not do anything than us crying in the barbershop that you're dead. like, come on, man. Come on,
Yeah.
For real. I'd rather you see me on the video getting beat up than y'all visiting me on my back. Just as simple as that. It's I understand this internet toughness. I get it. I understand. But the goal is to get home. I said that shit 5 years ago in my videos. Get home, dog. Get home. Get home. So important.
Rain Man, I think you misunderstanding. The point was, if me and Fred are there and only I am being arrested, me and Fred cannot both be screaming at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling emotional and I'm screaming a little bit, that's quite all right. It's a natural reaction, human reaction. But Fred can't scream at the same time that I'm screaming, because the cops, it ain't got shit to do with us. The cops are too disturbed in their heads to be able to take that. They don't know they don't have de-escalation skills. They don't know conflict resolution.
Mm-mm. They don't need to. They're the judge and the jury on the street.
That's right.
They don't need to. What the fuck?
Yeah. And you talking to somebody who's been on both sides, beat some cases and didn't beat some cases. So, you know, don't choose your battles wisely.
Please do. I wouldn't tell y'all this. I mean, I only spent 2 days in jail. I tell y'all that all the time. You know, if it wasn't for that judge, shit, I was going to jail for grand theft, you know? Truth told, you know? So that's, I don't know that side of the story. And I'm just saying, get home. Fuck this internet beef. Fuck this internet tough shit. Fuck this internet tough shit, dog. Shit is bad. Y'all better grow some. Nah, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, guys. All right. Don't fall for it.
Facts. No need to play games. Yeah, Woke said no need to play games with cops. Just give them the paperwork and keep it moving.
Yeah. Just give them what they need. Hit that live button on your Instagram. How about you do that? Hit that live button on your Instagram or your YouTube channel. Hit the live button. Hit the live button.
Give them that paperwork at that time, and then when you go home, like I said, you contact the office at Johnny Cochran or whoever you need to, and then you get your paperwork squared away. Yeah, get home and get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, get justice too. Get all of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Shit, like Fred said, yeah, you're gonna be a meme or a hashtag. I mean, not a meme, a hashtag for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you already know
and
it.
Ain't nobody going to feed your mama.
Nope.
Ain't nobody gonna take care of your daughter. Ain't nobody else gonna do that. Everybody gonna be around for a month or 2 months, and after that, shit, your wife or your girlfriend or your baby mom, she gonna be all by herself raising that fucking kid because you wanted to be too goddamn tough.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, but yeah, great show, man. Yeah, great show. Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun. I'm glad we hit these points.
We got to buy her book too. Let's support her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for the people who had those additional questions, that's why I always like to ask the women for what their Instagram is, so y'all can slide in their DMs. Ain't no telling what she's saying something right now, but you slide in a DM, you say something slick. Ain't no telling where you gonna end up.
Ain't no telling. That's what Drake say. Ain't no telling.
Cool.
He got an album coming out December 31st, y'all. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all over there hating and shit.
Reggie Owens going live. Reggie Owens is going live. You've been having some good ones too. So what's going on with old boy? We still gonna get him in, Jamar?
Yeah, I'll holler at him tomorrow. He had a you wasn't here for the beginning of the show? You just checked in and went and played in the back of the room. That's what you did. So anyways, he had I think he what's that called? GMA, Good Morning America. He did an interview with Good Morning America, and they got they agreed that they would be first to air the story. So he got that tomorrow morning. So it should be on in a few hours, 3 hours in New York. You know what I mean? And so that's it, So he'll be on tomorrow. I'll holler at him tomorrow. And so we'll get that. And hopefully, we got a beautiful woman coming in tomorrow too.
Cool. Real quick, Patty Dean just put the link for the book in the chat again. Yeah.
We got the 6 foot goddess. 6 to goddess coming in tomorrow.
Yeah. And Hustler Slim said your story will quickly be replaced by the next breaking news.
Sheesh. In a heartbeat. You guys see it with Breonna Taylor? We haven't said Breonna Taylor's name tonight. First time we probably said it this week. It's life. Time don't stop. The clock don't stop. We don't get stuck in moments. So when it happens again, when
people be living in Mayberry and they know the sheriff, so it's different for them. They don't live in 3rd mile, 8 Mile. They don't live in the 3rd, 4th, 5th ward. They don't live in the jungles. They don't live in the bottoms. They don't live in the PJs. They don't know, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? When you live in Mayberry and the damn sheriff is somebody you see all the time, you can scream in his face and ain't nothing gonna happen. Yeah, not in these cities.
Yeah. Facts, not in these cities. Yeah. 6 to God is gonna be in tomorrow. Y'all gonna like her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At least that's what Patty Dean said. That's what Patty Dean said. We gonna like her.
Okay. I like it. What else you got, Fredro?
I think that's it. I think we're solid. I enjoyed the show tonight. It was such a straight cutthroat show. It was just straight to the point.
Yeah. Like I say, man, we are like I like to tell guests, man, we in the barbershop. So some people gonna say something that they don't agree with you.
And
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
fine.
Like
That's
Mike
fine.
asked his question. Yeah, let Mike Weary ask his question. Like, listen, everybody not gonna agree with the guest.
That's fine.
And I like the fact that you told her to hit the live chat button so she can see some of the stuff in there.
I got to remember to tell people to hit the live chat button because they got to enjoy that part of the show.
Yeah. She say, they see stuff that Picasso and Hustler Slim and these dudes start putting in there. Shit, I think Jay Dixon would have been good for the show too tonight. He wasn't in here tonight, but yeah, some people just you know, they put good comments in there that people can dialogue to, you know. Anyway, fam bam, put y'all cities and states and neighborhoods in there. We're gonna get some love before we get out of here and get to Reggie's. But also, let me see, I put this in here earlier. It is right there. Boom, I put that link in. That is the link to the Patreon. Yeah. So hit the like button real quick. Damn, it looks like 89. Is it only 89? No, it's 118 likes. 118. Yeah, so everybody take a quick set and hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. There it is. Where we at now? Where we at? Still at 118. Come on, y'all. Let's get to at least 130 real quick. And 12 people hit the thumbs up real quick.
So that's what we got coming in tomorrow. I know y'all happy now. You happy, Deacon 305? Why must thou tempt me? Oh, so arrogant Lando. Salute the Fred DB. Everyone in the shop.
Hey, Cuzzo, appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, yeah, she is an advocate and influencer for femininity for Black women. Yeah, that's gonna be a good conversation. Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Got my brother Gump 88, the 209 to the 916, NorCal, G Brown, Los Scandalous, California, Tom Brown from Oakland, California, all the way down to Chicago, Illinois, H Money from South Central LA to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? It's good. He said Denver, Colorado. Boxer Straight Right said peace from London. He said honorary member of Los Angeles. And yeah, our brother in the super chat, oh so arrogant Lando. You already know he's straight out of South Central LA. Better believe it. Got 3 states below. Chesapeake, VA. Shout out to Virginia. Mr. Tennessee himself. You already know. Hustler Slam. Mike Weary the Great in here. Where Mike Weary from? Damn, I forgot. But Reggie said, Breonna Taylor, he said, I say her name. Say her name. That's right. Shout out to Deacon 305 and the family. Prayers to him and the wifey. That's it. Let's see. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens, South Central Los Angeles. G Brown right here in the soil too, Los Angeles. Tino Fernandez in the building. See you over at Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. Patty Dean, Los Angeles also. Let's see. I think, man, where everybody else at? Where y'all at? P Good, I see you in the building still. Mr. Compress. Jarvis, South Central Los Angeles. Picasso out in Texas. Rob G Film from all over the world. Dave Jack, Detroit. Cletus Smith. My brother Woke in here. Rain Man Two Sides. Disagree, but respect to you anyway. Fan Bam, thanks for coming out. Jason G. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Compton, all down here. Rob G Film, he said 512 to 214 to 512 to 214 over and over again. Asia Malcolm popped in the building. He said the Lou in here. Boxing and Barbecue, CLTT. Damn, what is CLTT? Where is that, Fred? CLTT.
That might be on Saturn, you know, because Saturn and Jupiter is kind of hanging out, so probably he's visiting.
That should look like clitoris, man. Where you from? Not Israel, the DMV in here. You know what I'm saying? Look, PD, okay. He said, Rain Man Two Sides said Grand Rapids. Yeah. And PD said Inglewood by way of Belize. Yeah, you better believe it. You better believe it. I think that's it, man. Sir Senior in here, North Carolina in the building. And woke, you didn't put the city in there. Oh, there go JQ. Your boy JQ, Fred. Jaquan Pickett, Chi-Town. Says salute everybody in the chat. Joe Hill. And we say Detroit, the 313. Damn, Detroit in here kind of thick too today. Jalen Thomas, Tamarack, Florida. Let me see. What's this one right here? Gaff from Florida. Okay, that's what it said. 407 Orlando. All right. Florida got a few heads in here too. Cletus, Asia Math. I think that's just about it. Yeah, we're going to rock over to Reggie Owens, People Hernandez on the East Coast. People's in New York. I think he in the Bronx. People, you in the Bronx? Anyway, over there. But shout out to everybody in here. Hit the thumbs up and we finna jam out. Play the song,
Might be one. Hey, did y'all see? I see that, Tank. Hey, did y'all see Saturn and Jupiter tonight? That shit was pretty dope, dog.
Damn, I missed it.
Oh my gosh, dog. You know where I saw that too?
Where?
St. Andrews Park. I pulled over at St. Andrews Park. Some guy had a telescope, and he was like, "Man," I was like, "It's right." He told me it's right there. It looks like two planes parked in the sky. You know, it was pretty dope. It was dope. It'll be here. It's all week though.
Oh, okay.
It's all week. That's what he said. People Hernandez is in the building. BX, he in the Bronx. BX.
Okay, I thought so. Right on. BX in the building. B Brown, what up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute.
Nice. Real Rap ain't been in here since Beetlejuice got him. I might go check on him.
Cause the devil is a lie.
Hey. But not Real Rap. Hairline. It's all that shit. It's like millions. Take a second to the when much expected, much is given. Are we gonna get Spence and Crawford in 2021? Are we gonna get it?
Yep, it's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm with it. I hope so. He deserves it. They both deserve it. Fighting that long and not get that payday. Sheesh. Y'all gotta be there. Are you serious? Fight for 20 years and don't get the payday you worked at that moment. Oh my God. I just couldn't. I couldn't sleep. If I let.
Rob G, get him.
It's my personal statement. Renegade Mike, I made it. What do you think? Bud is too prideful?
100%.
Bud is too prideful, right? That's what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. Is Bud Crawford too prideful? That's the topic tomorrow night, along with the guests. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. She ain't gonna be here for 2 hours. Yeah, that'll be dope. Yeah, is Bud Crawford too prideful?
That's a good joke.
What happened? We forgot to ask for a joke.
Tino Fernandez put a joke in there.
I missed it.
Shout out to Box Fans. Shout out to Tank, the Sweet Science Examiner. And shout out to SF City Slicker, California, still in here sick. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey.
Hey. You got to tell me tomorrow, Tino. I missed it. We out of here.
Out of here, like, yeah. See y'all over at Reggie's and see y'all here in less than 24 hours. Peace and love. Love you, bro.
I love you too, man. See y'all tomorrow, man. I appreciate y'all coming in here, man. Thank you. I appreciate all y'all being involved tonight. It was a good conversation. Thank you, India Crawford. Go buy the book. I'll get the book. And we moving on, man. Tomorrow is Tuesday. And don't forget Wednesday, we got Michael Eric Dyson at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll come back.